Effect it may have on Hoosiers. Radar is clear. It's 48 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Indiana may see a big impact from President Trump's tariffs that he plans to implement soon. Those include a 25% tariff on Canada, which is Indiana's biggest international trading partner. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people.
IU Kelly School experts say Hoosiers may end up paying roughly $200 a month more for goods because of the tariffs. A person killed and 2 others hurt in a triple shooting that happened in Anderson overnight. All 3 victims were women, say police. The shooting happened at around 3 a.m. this morning. Police are still looking into what led to the shooting. There was a crash involving a Tipton County deputy on Sunday. John Herrick reports.
Police say that deputy was on State Road 28 and was hit by another driver who ran a stop sign around 4 Sunday morning. That deputy was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. Police say 2 people were in the other vehicle and neither of them wanted to fess up to being the driver. They submitted to a blood draw. Investigators believe drunk driving was the cause, but they're still looking into it. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Tech billionaire Elon Musk has backtracked on calling Indiana Senator Todd Young a deep state puppet. The quip was in response to an unverified post claiming Young will not support confirming Tulsi Gabbard as National Intelligence Director. But Musk followed up saying, "I stand corrected," after having a talk with Young. Caitlin Clark on hand at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa Sunday as her number 22 jersey was retired.
I think that just speaks to the culture of this place. You know, so selfless. Like, I know my number's up there, but it wouldn't be if it wasn't for all of you.
The team she plays for now, the Indiana Fever, making some big moves over the weekend, acquiring Sophie Cunningham and Jalen Brown in a multi-team deal. They also signed free agent Natasha Howard, who was drafted by the Fever in 2015. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
All right, Kurt, on the east side, crash southbound 465 at Washington. Right lane block, traffic stop and go almost to I-70. It's lessened up a little bit. We like to see that. Crash coming out the north split over the flyover from westbound 72, northbound 65, slow on to Meridian Street Penn. And a reminder, 75th Street shutting down today if it's not already between Graham Road and Vinver Boulevard on the northeast side. That's Nickel Plate Trail construction until Monday, next Monday. Traffic sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver report on precious metals. IRA guide to betternestegg.com. Don't leave your future to change. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple, like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you. Like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies today, but very mild. Today's high 62. Partly cloudy, sharply colder overnight, a low down to 33. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
Mostly cloudy, 49 on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning. It is Monday, February 3rd, 6 minutes after 9. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Rob, we're meeting at the intersection of Todd Young and Elon Musk. The Duke of Spendingburg has caught the eye of the world's richest man. Elon Musk called Todd Young a deep state puppet, this on X over the weekend. This over Todd Young's reluctance to support Tulsi Gabbard's nomination for Director of National Intelligence. They had a little phone call, and then Elon Musk deleted the tweet. What did they say on that call?
Well, this is, and we've talked about this many times before with Elon Musk. He may be the world's richest man, and there's no doubt that in certain facets of how his brain functions, he's brilliant in areas that have allowed him to monetize beyond anybody's wildest imagination. But and we've talked about this many times, he says and does things on Twitter all the time that, one, I'm surprised he doesn't get sued for. I mean, didn't he get sued years ago? He said something about somebody, and I think he may have won the lawsuit. But he says stuff that's wrong. He says stuff that has to be retracted. He says stuff that just makes him look like a complete idiot. And his behavior over the weekend as it relates to Todd Young, it's utterly ridiculous. So first of all, Todd Young is a bad guy. Todd Young's not a good dude. Todd Young doesn't care about you. Todd Young isn't interested in anything other than Todd Young and the elevation and promotion of Todd Young. Now, if you want to call that a deep state puppet or whatever you want to come up with to describe that, I don't know what the correct phraseology is. But what I do know is after years of watching him in the U.S. House, and then it became on steroids once his adult supervision, his daddy, Mitch McConnell, helped him essentially buy that Senate seat by pumping millions of dollars into steamroll Marlin Stutzman, that Todd Young has cared about serving the will of the leadership in the Senate, his adult supervision, and he has cared about elevating himself and his standing in that, and not about you at all. And Elon Musk does far more harm than good when over one phone call, he retracts what is a very powerful statement, and actually at least it got Todd Young's attention, right? To the point where somebody must have made a panic phone call somewhere, because that changed very quickly. The problem is, and this is where Elon Musk makes himself look stupid, he's literally overseeing a commission whose job it is to clean up waste and abuse in the government, and Todd Young is the highest spending Republican in the U.S. Senate. He's the poster child for everything that this commission is supposed to be about and clean up. And whether or not he has agreed out of fear or whatever to vote for Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know. But to call him an ally, it makes Elon Musk look like a complete fool.
So he said that Senator Young will be a great ally in restoring power to the people from the vast unelected bureaucracy. Well, let's just talk about that for a second, because who is an unelected bureaucrat?
Right, exactly.
Elon Musk is.
But look, the Tulsi Gabbard stuff is irrelevant. Spendingburg came out and said, so whether you're new to the show, our little name we've given Todd Young is the Duke of Spendingburg for all of his. I mean, we're talking, I don't know what the exact number is now. I know, when was the Stacks Pancake House incident? That was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
it was something like $11 trillion Todd Young had racked up in terms of the nation's debt that he had voted to add to our nation's debt. He told me before he started moving aggressively towards me that day with an armed deputy sheriff behind him, because he's too big of a chicken to do it on his own. And by the way, Casey will back me up on this. We've had numerous people who were eyewitnesses when I describe what happened that day. He basically came unhinged and was moving very aggressively towards me. He wanted to fight. He wanted to throw down. Have we not had?
He wanted you to throw a fist. But that's what he wanted.
Have we not had multiple eyewitnesses who were there that day say that Rob is not exaggerating? This is exactly how it went down. All of the things that we have said on this radio show are true, and people have backed it up. But the point is, he told me that day before he became unglued and started coming at me that he's not stopping. He said, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping spending the money. So I don't know what the number is now. It's got to be 15, maybe 16 trillion. I don't know. That was 3 years ago, and he keeps voting to spend the money.
He still wins the award for being the highest spending Republican in the U.S. Senate.
So the point of all this is, even if you made Todd Young bend a knee or kiss a ring finger or whatever and agree to vote for Tulsi Gabbard, he's not an ally on anything.
Right.
He's doing this not out of choice. He's doing it out of force. And even if he were lockstep on all these nominations, you're overseeing a commission where the job is to find waste and abuse in government, and this guy is the poster child for waste and abuse in government.
This all started over Young's reluctance to support Tulsi Gabbard. So he puts out this tweet saying that Todd Young is a deep state puppet. Okay, we can all get on board with that.
Absolutely.
But then they make a phone call. They talk about something.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later, Musk deletes the post and then gives him an endorsement. So what was said on that phone call? Elon Musk was alluding to some NGO that Todd Young is involved in. So it really makes you curious about what did Todd say? No, I'll play ball with you. I'll support Tulsi Gabbard. Or what did they agree to?
Yeah, but the problem is with the power of Elon Musk and his followers and owning the platform, he actually did something really good, which is he drew a lot of attention
to Todd Young.
Yeah. Which you need to do. Todd Young is a rotten human. He's a rotten senator. He hates you. He only cares about himself. The elevation of himself in that power structure. And some people go, well, you're getting personal. You're right, I'm getting personal, Casey. You're damn right I'm getting personal. Because Todd Young has personally, with his votes, screwed me, screwed my family, screwed all of you. So yeah, personally, he's a rotten person who doesn't give a crap about us.
And it makes you wonder because now the word primary is being thrown out around a lot more.
Look, Micah Beckwith, and it'll depend on what happens over in the next couple of years. But Micah Beckwith would beat that dude into the dust.
Well, it does make you wonder.
But somebody's good's got to run. Somebody's got a good has got to run. It can't be these people who, they can't get the signatures. They can't get on the ballot. They've already showed with the banks thing last year where they'll kick anybody out if they can find any sort of loophole or anything to get you kicked. It's got to be somebody good, who can fundraise, who can get the signatures, who can check all the boxes. You got to stop getting these well-meaning people who can't raise 7 cents, and you're just hoping that they turn their signatures in at the right time.
Well, you mentioned it, fundraise. So it has been reported right now that Todd Young is sitting on over $4 million.
It wouldn't matter though, Casey. That's the thing. If somebody good ran against him, this show alone is worth more. Will do more than $4.5 million of damage to Todd Young. It wouldn't matter if there's a viable alternative. People will vote for that. But again, the problem is, and I always love this. I always see the reactions from people. My wife and I were talking about this weekend. I don't understand how conservative deep red Indiana could possibly vote for someone like Todd Young. We are not a conservative state. We are a Republican state, but how many times have the Republicans proven that doesn't mean anything? Look at these goobers down the street from us. People assume because it's Republican, it's conservative. Most of these lawmakers that we elect are not remotely conservative.
Well, look at the governor that we've had for the past 8 years.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Yeah, but let's just toss out a few names really quick. You've got John Rust. Obviously, he tried to run against Jim Banks. He's got the bank account to pull it off. Micah Beckwith, he's got the name recognition. Does he have the $4 million? That's to be seen.
He's got us, Casey.
Todd
Rokita. Wait. He's got us. Mm-hmm. How many times do we have to prove there is no monetary value to us?
Priceless, baby. Priceless.
You could say here's $30 million and that isn't worth us. How many times do we have to prove that? Anyway, go ahead.
Todd Rokita is another name that comes to mind.
Hey.
You got to wonder, is he going to be Attorney General much longer with what's going on with him?
Yeah, he may be looking for his next job, so he certainly is someone we got to throw into the mix there.
So you had Brad Chambers and Eric Doden. That's a blast from the past. Those are two guys who ran for governor.
The personality club over there with those two people. Mm-hmm. Boy, the women will be removing their underwear en masse and throwing at them if those two guys
But then you have to consider maybe some party insider that the establishment wants to prop up, who's going to say, you know what, we're going to bankroll your campaign, but wouldn't that be just shooting themselves in the foot because they already have Todd Young in there.
Elon Musk does this on the regular, where he tweets out ridiculous things or untrue things, and then he has to backtrack on them. And again, just like you do more harm than good when you give these rats. That's what Todd Young is. He's a sewer rat. When you give these sewer rats paths to scurry out from, you give them cover. You give them cover. You did the thing. You said the thing. The thing was accomplishing the thing. Well, you're clearly showing either one, you're so willfully uninformed about spending, which you're supposed to oversee, or you're so driven on an individual topic that you don't actually care about. I mean, how could you possibly, overseeing a commission that the primary and almost essentially sole objective is to rid the government of waste and abuse, and look at arguably the most egregious offender of them all? I mean, if you took away the name and you put Bernie Sanders spending against Todd Young's spending record, you would have a hard time deciphering who is who. And yet you call this guy an ally. An ally for what?
Yeah. It really makes you wonder what they talked about, because I don't know, is Todd Young really that good of a salesman, or is it just that they went Tulsi Gabbard in there so much and Elon agreed to something with Todd Young? Like, we'll give you more money for your camp.
Well, then he's a complete
what is
loser
going on
and a
there?
hypocrite.
Somebody sold somebody something.
By the way, you got to stop sending me pictures of disheveled Todd Young. I'm sick of this. You're sending me like 4 a day now. Look at this one. Doesn't he look horrible here? How about this one? I know what the guy looks like, Casey. I know he's a complete loser. I don't need pictures of disheveled Todd Young.
His hair's just really long right now, that's all, and he's growing a beard.
It's Casey's new favorite hobby, at least 4 or 5 times a day. Look at this one.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
The administration is taking shape.
I, Marco Rubio.
Y un gran honor le doy las gracias al presidente Trump. I just said I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. That's what I said. So.
Hearings and votes continue.
You have said you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine.
Confirmations are underway.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed.
Follow the first 100 days on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Show your true love and spoil her with that special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're going to feel some pain, Rob Kendall. That's what Donald Trump said on Sunday. He said Americans are going to feel some pain from the emerging trade war triggered by the tariffs against Canada, Mexico, and also China. So we're looking at 25% against Mexico and Canada, except for 10% against Canada for energy, and then 10% tariffs on Chinese.
Can we just laugh, though, at the hysteria of people? So nothing's been implemented yet. You haven't felt any pain on anything. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen. It may all get canceled. They may strike a deal tonight. Nobody's felt any pain on anything. And the pathetic, ridiculous hysteria club. I saw Abdul lamenting something about how his comic book pages are printed in Canada, so the price of his comic book is going to go up.
That's how it affects him personally.
No word from Abdul the past 4 years as the country has gone down the drain. But he's suddenly concerned about some could be, maybe, don't know, the price of my comic book might go up a little bit. By the way, it would be way out in the future if that would happen, based on the fact that they've already printed all the stuff and the stuff is already there, et cetera, et cetera. But this is my point. People are looking for reasons to be outraged, and it is hysterical. Hysterical, given the condition of this country the past 4 years, where so many people said absolutely nothing, and now they're all concerned. Now they're all fired up. Now the price of everything is really got them just clutching their pearls that things might get really expensive.
You got to wonder, though, when Donald Trump says you might be feeling some pain, how much pain and for how long? Or, to your point, is this all just saber rattling?
Nothing's been enacted at all. Nothing has been enacted at all. And of course, yes, Abdul is my best friend or one of my best friends. I call people out all the time if they say something stupid. And that's utterly ridiculous that you sit silent for 4 years while Joe Biden and his economic policies run this country into the ground. And then you have an aneurysm on social media over potentially the price of your comic book. The reality is the United States has been screwed for years and years and years by trade imbalances, by bad policies, by policies that punish the American consumer. And as we talked about during the entire campaign, the best thing Trump can do is have an honest conversation with the American people on several facets of the American economy. Shouldn't just start with trade or stop with trade. It should also be our spending is totally out of control. So many people are getting freebies that have no business getting freebies, and some of you are going to feel some pain so we can get the federal spending under control. We got to talk about entitlement reform. We got to talk about making these programs solvent again. He should be doing this with an honest conversation, an honest adult conversation with the American people about how bad things have gotten, about how screwed up they are, and what it's going to take to actually fix them.
So did you see that this morning some of the workers from USAID went into work? Well, they got an email overnight that said, hey, your office is closed. And that was all part of the trying to rein in some of the spending. Elon Musk, here we go with him again. He confirmed that Donald Trump approved the plan to shut down the U.S. Agency for International Development, which is called USAID, right? Headquartered in Washington, D.C., employees were told not to come into work. They were told to stay home for the day. Office was closed. They even removed the website and all the social media accounts.
You know what I love about this? So any great negotiator, any person who's ever been in business, you have to make the other side believe you're going to do the thing. If Trump came out and was like, everything will be fine, don't worry about it, then China, then Mexico, then Canada, then other trading partners would know, hey, he's not serious about this. He's bluffing. He's gone out there and told the American people, you're going to feel some pain. Now they're going to think he's going to do whatever he's going to do. And for a while, he may have to do it. You have to start cleaning this up at some point and from somewhere. And if for a month or a couple of months or whatever, what? Now we're very concerned that things got a little more expensive. Give me a break.
Ontario set to remove U.S. alcohol from their shelves after this.
Ooh.
You going to do without your Molson beer for a while or your Canadian Dry?
The reality of this is, especially with Canada, the U.S. GDP dwarfs what Canada's is. The USA can easily outlast Canada.
Well, do you know how much food we send to them?
Of course.
I mean, we could literally starve them.
The primary thing that Canada sends to our country is energy and it's medicine. Okay? We send them way more stuff. They need us way more than we need them. And a year from now, when everything's better in terms of trade and the balance is better, and for the long term it makes America more competitive and increases our buying power, are people going to come back and go, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong about that? No, of course not. People want to be outraged. They just look for reasons to be outraged. And the same people that are losing their minds over something that hasn't even been implemented yet, you have no idea what the actual impact will be if it even happens.
It's supposed to happen at midnight tonight.
And it was supposed to happen before that, and it hasn't happened yet, which tells me they're negotiating. Many of these people haven't said word one over the past 4 years. It's probably something like 25, 30, 35%, depending on what sector of the economy you're even talking about.
Well, I have to wonder, this U.S. aid being shut down, does that have to do with spending, or does that have to do with the claim that Vladimir Zelensky said when he said that out of the $177 billion we've given them, that $100 billion of it's missing?
Yeah, I want to get into that later. But in the meantime, when we come back, you got a guest, right?
Yeah, Jennifer Strandberry Miller. She is the creator of the Aviation Family Disaster Assistance Act of 1996, and we're going to talk to her in regards to that airline accident with the Black Hawk helicopter, some of the lessons that have learned, and crisis response evolution. That is on the way next from 93 WIBC.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they're doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They'll conference ahead of tomorrow. Radar is clear. It's partly cloudy and 51 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President Trump is speaking with Canadian and Mexican leaders this morning. Trump told reporters Sunday that before he boarded Marine One to head to the White House, that he would speak with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau along with Mexican leaders, but both Trudeau and as well as the Mexican President Sheinbaum have criticized Trump's tariffs set to take effect tomorrow, which Trump announced would be a 25% on imports from both countries. Where do we stand as far as some of President Trump's cabinet nominations? Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
The Senate Finance Committee scheduling a vote for Tuesday on Robert Kennedy Jr.'s nomination for Health and Human Services Secretary, the next big test for his confirmation. Kennedy will need to be voted out of committee in order to advance to a full Senate vote. Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard and FBI Director nominee Kash Patel are also awaiting votes before their respective committees. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Well, in light of the possible impact of President Trump's tariffs, stocks are plummeting today. The Dow is off 666 points to 44,032. The NASDAQ off 371 to 21,217. And the S&P 500 down 99 to 5,967. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt's daughter Kim says her dad has a daily influence on the way customers are treated.
Dad's built a great business, and it's an honor to be able to keep carrying it on, and his work ethic and the way he treats customers, and that's something that I want to carry on and treat people the same way.
You can call on Reinhardt Heating and Cooling at 317-745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and when was the last time you gave your carpets some love? Now listen, they're the largest air filter in your home, and unless those carpets are cleaned on a regular basis, the stuff that's in the fibers can be downright scary. There's a good chance you're breathing unhealthy levels of germs and dirt and dander and bacteria that just keep recirculating again and again. Well, here's some really good news. Zero Res has a February special of 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119, plus a 4th room clean free and $75 off air duct cleaning. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at zeroresindy.com to do some scheduling at your convenience. Mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at $119, plus a 4th room cleaned for free and $75 off air duct cleaning too. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at zeroresindy.com.
Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight.
Rob, so over the weekend, the U.S. Army released the name of the 3rd soldier who died on that Black Hawk helicopter, the one that collided with the American airline passengers. And so far, they have totaled 67 people who have passed away from that accident.
Have you ever seen a delay like this in releasing what is somewhat easily obtainable, obvious information?
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? It does make you question a lot of things. But to learn some more about what happened in that accident or how it affects other people, we have Jennifer Stranberry Miller, and she is a subject matter expert. They call them a SME. That's an acronym that you have to learn. SME, a SME.
I've never been that with anything.
Yeah. Well, she's based here in Indianapolis, and she's going to provide some insight on that D.C. airline tragedy. And Jennifer, let's begin with some of the lessons that have been learned. Now, in your extensive experience, what are some of the biggest things that we've learned from past aviation disasters, and what can we use those lessons for in helping us respond to these current tragedies?
Absolutely. And again, thank you for having me. I just want to start out with my thoughts are with the families and loved ones from American Eagle Flight 5342. This is such an incredible tragedy of loss, especially here in central Indiana. And I do send peace and love to those impacted. Now to your question, that is a great question. As Hoosiers, we can recall the crash of American Eagle Flight 4184 in Roselawn in 1994. In which my brother perished. We families determined at that time that the aftermath was grossly mishandled, prompting us to come together with 12 other aviation disaster family members and survivors from that time to advocate for and pass the Aviation Disaster Family Assistance Act of 1996. This act is the U.S. law that ensures airlines and government agencies provide timely support, information, resources to victims, families, and survivors after an aviation accident. It established protocols for communication, mental health services, and coordination with the National Transportation Safety Board's Transportation Disaster Assistance Division to assist affected families and survivors with sensitivity. Mm-hmm. It's referred to as family assistance, and I am thrilled to report it is now the gold standard globally on how to respond to these types of situations. So we have been very successful for 30 years in enhancing the aftermath of these situations.
You have turned your personal grief into advocacy, but you had mentioned timely support. How timely is it? Is there a number, days, weeks, months?
Absolutely, and I do appreciate that question because timely is subjective, right? We live in an information age right now that we expect it immediately, and I'm here to tell you sometimes it does not happen immediately. For example, of releasing passengers, right, the names on those aircraft, you know, that does belong to the family. And let's pause and think about that a second. This is a tremendous loss. It is a private grieving matter that all of a sudden becomes public consumption.
Yeah, many times we hear that the passenger manifesto won't be released until the family is notified. Is that it, or are there other stipulations that matter?
So that is it. And again, that is something we push for because in the past we found out on the news.
Oh, yeah.
So hold that a second, right? Just hold that space. Those families deserve proper notification of involvement And that's what we're seeing play out. So the timely support is everything from the 800 number that the air carrier puts up, right? So that's where that verification begins, to opting to travel to a family assistance center and or receiving support at home. It is up to that individual family to what best fits their needs, and we have to honor that.
I have to imagine that the field of crisis and also mental health advocacy has changed a lot since your experience, your tragic experience with American Eagle Flight 4184. What role did your advocacy play in those changes? What did you do, Jennifer?
So part of, and I will say our collective advocacy in the 90s was to ensure that mental health was included in an aviation response. And again, I am thrilled to say today the American Red Cross fulfills this immediate role by providing behavioral health support during a response. So, for instance, in Washington, D.C., at the Family Assistance Center, the American Red Cross is there, and they are providing emotional and spiritual support to those impacted.
How long do they stay there? How long will they be there?
So the American Red Cross is there as long as the Family Assistance Center is open. In addition to when it does shut down, they do have access. So the family members can access further support through the Red Cross upon their return home. And with any crisis situation, our goal is to always get that individual back home to the supports they know and assist them in reassembling their life, including finding any other local supports they may need.
Jennifer Stranberry Miller is with us. She is the creator of the Aviation Family Disaster Assistance Act of 1996. So what sort of support do family members need immediately after a tragedy like the aviation crash that we witnessed last week?
The greatest need across the board is information. That's where it starts. Notification of involvement. Was my loved one on board? Did my loved one perish? Where are my loved one's personal belongings? That is where it starts. Right? So go ahead.
I just wanted you to speak like kind of a real-time analysis, because we all heard the story about the husband who was receiving a last text from his wife, and he had found out that she was on that flight, and the news reporter asked to see if she could read the text. It just seemed very removed from the situation. So what are some things that media should know or should be doing better in covering these sorts of disasters?
Yeah, so and again, my heart goes out to that individual to experience that and not to have the media outside of what I assume to be, a waiting type area there at the airport. My one recommendation overall is not to speculate or provide unverified information. It is very hard as families grapple with this news in this new reality. There is so much information coming in, and we need it to be, number one, verified, right?
Yeah.
But ensure that it is factual. Because, again, we as family members need this to make sense of what's going on, because it truly does help us begin to facilitate healing.
Jennifer Stranberry Miller is with us. She's the creator of the Aviation Family Disaster Assistance Act of 1996. One last question for you, Jennifer. We hear a lot about mental health, and I'm curious how behavioral health plays a role in helping families cope with the shock and the grief after losing someone in a crisis situation like this.
Yeah, so the process moves from providing the information for the families so they can begin to make those decisions to honor their loved one, to move into the mourning process where we all strive to seek resolution. Behavioral health can assist individuals to move down this road successfully, and by doing this, we can utilize various aspects from mental health professionals specializing in grief and loss, to if an individual has a chaplain, a minister, a priest, a rabbi to help them facilitate. And here locally, I would be remiss not to mention Brooks Place here in Indianapolis. Brooks Place is a center for grieving children and young adults. They were created following the crash of 4184 when the family recognized, actually 4184 family recognized the gap in this type of support here locally. So they've done a tremendous job, and I applaud them and appreciate the gap they have filled here in Indianapolis.
Is it always a group effort, or do families take this individually? Like, do you have like a spokesperson, or how is that typically handled?
Yeah, that is a great question. So what you will find following aviation disasters is sometimes a single group called a family association will evolve over time, and that group will come together, and they can address safety needs. They can address family assistance needs. They can help provide feedback to the process because it is very unique. There's very few of us that have gone through this who can speak to what this feels like, and then the professionals can help assimilate that into how it should be operationally. So it varies by crash, by family association, and then what the need is. Because sometimes the need is so great, like ours, that we had 12 aviation disasters from the 90s and late 80s pass this piece of legislation.
After Flight 4184, were you nervous to get on a flight? Do you ever fly now?
Yep, I do fly, and I think it's nervous to be on, and quite frankly, after 4184, that is when I flew the most because, again, we were doing the advocacy work. I find with all of us, it's normal to be hesitant, and it's hard to grapple data, which data tells us aviation is the safest mode of transportation. It is.
Yeah.
But it's hard when we have these feelings, these strong feelings, right, that sometimes can hold us back. So I do travel, and I do stand by the data. Aviation is the safest mode of transportation.
Jennifer Stranberry Miller, we appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Back at it on a Monday, 3:06, the Hammer and Nigel Show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories of the day. Guy Relford joins us. Let's have a good time.
Why not start 2025 with a great new deal from Tom Roush Lincoln? Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $12,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So start the new year with a new car from Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 61,695. Offers good through February 28, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. Have you been dreaming of kitchen updates since the new year began? My friends at Hope Plumbing want you to love your plumbing. Update your faucets, fixtures, water heaters, and more with a $100 off a $500 plus plumbing service. Make your remodel dreams or small home update wishes come true and start to love your plumbing again. Call and schedule an appointment today at 317-641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Hi, I'm Dwight Freeney. Recently, I had the honor of meeting some incredible kids who are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant here in Indiana. I saw firsthand the importance of saying yes to organ donation. It's not just about saving lives. It's about giving others the chance to grow up, play, and dream big. Signing up as an organ donor is quick and easy. It takes less than a minute, but the difference you can make lasts a lifetime. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Rob, I'm sure you spent zero time watching this last night. The 67th Grammy Awards were held in Los Angeles.
That's correct. I spent 0 seconds.
You know what's surprising? So did I. Not a single minute. I did not watch a moment of the entire broadcast.
Well, and you spent years in this industry, and so you can articulate this better than I can, but there was a time where the Grammys was sort of the epicenter of it's not just music, it's society, it's pop culture. They're all converging in this one kind of evening. Well, I think most people are so sick of pop culture, and they're so sick kind of society in general. They're like, you people, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. Right. The one guy, was it Will Smith's kid was wearing a castle on his head or something? I mean, like, it was just like, Kanye West and his wife just show up and she's naked, and people are just like, why would I want to be exposed to any of this?
Right. There was one woman who had a big cone on her head. Was that Chappell Roan?
Who? I don't know who any of these people are.
Well, and that's it exactly. That's kind of when I stopped tuning out of the Grammys, because I was like, who?
One of the last great Grammys, this must have been 2003, was it Joe Strummer died from
from the Clash.
From the Clash, and it was like this incredible ensemble, Dave Grohl and Springsteen and Elvis Costello, and they did a version of London Calling that freaking tore the roof down. Steve Van Zandt was in there with them, and there was somebody else, and it was just it was unbelievable. Simon and Garfunkel opened the Grammys that night with, I think it was Bridge Over Troubled Water. They're great. Come back and get together. Now they don't even show the rock category. That's how irrelevant rock has become.
Right.
Who's sitting through this?
So Kendrick Lamar, he's the guy who's playing at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh.
He won 5 Grammys. Yeah, he won 5 Grammys, including Record of the Year, also Song of the Year. Beyonce, she won Album of the Year and Best Country Album.
She's a country artist now, right?
Right.
Sure.
She said that genre is a way that they try to keep musicians. That genre is a word for holding them back, is what it is. Now, allegedly.
So I saw something. She's got 33 Grammys. The Beatles have like 7. Really?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones have 3. Really?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, okay. Sure.
It's being reported that the show allegedly was largely apolitical, but of course you had people like Shakira and Alicia Keys, and of course Lady Gaga, who
Shakira's
had
still alive, huh?
Yeah, she is.
No kidding.
Had to reference their politics. They did encourage people to donate to fire aid relief efforts, and by the end of the show, they had raised $7 million for wildfire relief.
Kind of a paltry amount, isn't it, for the Grammy? Shouldn't they have been able to give that themselves?
That's kind of what I thought as well. $7 million. That'll buy one bedroom for one of those houses to be replaced. However, Jimmy Carter won a Grammy for spoken word.
I don't believe you. I don't believe he has spoken in the past 3 years. I do not believe Jimmy Carter has spoken.
It's a posthumous award,
Did
clearly.
you see him at the Kamala vote event?
When he went to go vote?
Did that look like a person who's spoken anything, much less spoken an album of stuff?
Now, here's something to consider.
What 100-year-old do you think could actually articulate a spoken word album, especially a guy who looked like that the last time you saw him?
Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama have all won Grammys for spoken word.
How exciting!
What's the common denominator there?
They're Democrats, right?
Yeah.
I don't need
You're
to know
sharp
people's
today,
politics.
Rob Kendall.
Hey, when we come back, we talk about the big day tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago I went, and 19 years later I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers too, exerciseinc.com.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Coming up in 2 minutes, President Trump's tariffs, if implemented, may have a big impact on Indiana. Plus, Jake McDaniel reports on why there was a shooting outside of a bar in Fishers. And the Indiana Pacers just keep on rolling. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio at the top of the hour. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
They're worried on Wall Street. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Dow is plunging almost 600 points in a Trump tariff sell-off.
We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country.
Now, President Trump just posted on Truth Social. He's talked to Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and they'll speak later today as Trudeau and Mexico's leader vow to retaliate against tariffs set to go into effect at midnight. 25% on goods from Mexico and Canada, though just 10% on Canadian oil and gas. Same as the tariffs on Chinese imports.
These tariffs, though, have some Americans a little uneasy, but the president says there might be some pain in the short term, but in the long run, he says this is done for the good of the country. Now, he sees he's betting hoping that Americans will be okay with a slight increase in prices on some goods in order to stop fentanyl from crossing the borders, as well as stop what the president calls an invasion of illegal migrants.
Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence at the White House. After all the immigration raids and the deportations ramp up, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth will go to the border today. The head of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, also in Texas, telling Fox.
We've got a president that loves this country, and he appreciates all of you that are doing the work for the American people, and I'm going to let them know I've got their backs.
Crews are back in the Potomac River this morning, removing more of the wreckage of the American Airlines regional jet that collided with an Army helicopter, killing all 67 people on both. They'll be looking for more bodies, too. 12 of them have yet to be recovered. A big question remains, was the helicopter flying higher than allowed, and why? Data shows the plane was about 325 feet, the helicopter 200, but that info may not be up to the second.
So what we've done is pulled additional data to get better, more granular information to understand the altitude.
The National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Hammond, you just told Fox they'll release that info later today. They also have the black box recorders from the small plane that crashed Friday night in Philadelphia right after takeoff, killing all 6 people on the plane and a person in the car on the ground. America's listening to Fox News.
Free WIBC mobile news on the level, on the go.
How much you may be paying. Radar is clear. It's partly cloudy and 51 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. President Trump is planning to implement new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China on Tuesday, 25% on the two former.
This would have a significant effect for the American consumer.
IU Kelly School business professor Andreas Hausknecht, who anticipates Hoosiers may end up paying roughly $200 a month extra for goods because of the tariffs. Canada is Indiana's biggest international trading partner. 3 women shot in Anderson overnight. It was early this morning when police got the call to a home where the 3 victims were found wounded. One of the women ended up dying at the hospital later on. A man was asked to leave a bar in Fishers, then he started shooting. Jake McDaniel reports.
As a bartender was leaving the scene, he saw Ronald Leach in a turn lane over by a stoplight, so they drove the other way. Leach then opened fire and shot the bartender's car. The bartender was okay, and they told police what happened after they arrived on Exit 5 Parkway. Officers say Leach was under the influence, and then he was taken to Hamilton County Jail. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you're planning to collect a pension after retirement, you may be wondering if it'll be enough, especially with inflation.
Some pension plans are protected for inflation, but most of them are not. So individuals have to create portfolios by investing in inflation-protected securities, for example.
Purdue Associate Professor of Finance, Denise Yavuz, he also urges you to become more familiar with your pension plan's eligibility requirements. 7 players in double-figure scoring Saturday night for the Indiana Pacers.
We got to take advantage. This is part of a big part of who we are. You know, but the guys, everybody's spirit was good about guys coming in and out, and guys were supporting each other. So it was good. It was just a very, very tough game.
Head coach Rick Carlisle, they beat Atlanta 132-127. The Pacers begin a 4-game road trip out west against Utah tonight. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
A radio lead is a serious lead, and our sales percentages reflect that tremendously.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name is Jim Williams, and I am the owner of Galaxy Concrete Coatings.
Qualified leads.
I think it was about 2004 that I was approached about radio advertising. Didn't really think it was going to help me much. But the interesting thing is over a period of 5 years, it got stronger and stronger every year. You know, we have like 10, sometimes 20 different ads that we're running.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
Radio is the first thing we start with because you do get calls that you can set leads and create sales from.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
We close like 40% of a radio ad. We close like 20 to 25% of our other mass media ads. I mean, that's a home run.
Get results with WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Valentine's Gift Headquarters.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, February 3rd, 5 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So last week, Governor Braun made his State of the State address, and he focused the meat of his speech on cutting property taxes. He also told local units of government to learn to live with the losses.
It's like some bad 90s album. You local government people are going to have to learn to live with the losses.
Live with the loss. So Hoosiers across the state struggling with huge hikes in the property tax bills, and he pointed that out. He pointed to our friends, Rob and Stephanie Parks. They sent us a nice email, by the way.
Yeah.
They said, now that some of the dust has settled a bit, I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank both of you for what you do.
That's what we do.
Knowing the parameters and nuances of what it takes to put on a radio program, as well as make it successful with content meaningful to its audience, is a rare occurrence in the modern landscape. Thank you. Those were very kind words from Rob, but that's what we do here. We try to make it meaningful for you. And
wait. You know, let's point this out. My whole life is about not getting the credit I deserve. Everybody else always gets something out of interacting with me. I very rarely get anything.
You don't get anything?
Yeah, what do I get?
The sparkling conversation?
Oh, my
engagement,
goodness. Oh, boy. It's just that I get
friendship.
the joy of driving downtown each day. But it was very nice of them to send that, and I'm glad they got to be featured in the state of the state of the state. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to point out that almost every interaction I have with other people, I'm the giving tree, Casey. They've taken my apples, they've taken my limbs, they've taken my trunk. I am but a stump now. I have nothing left to give, and now maybe some little boy, when he becomes an old man, can come sit on me because I have nothing left to give the taxpayers.
I feel
of
like
the state.
I receive every single time
That's
we're
right.
together. So, Braun's property tax plan. Let's talk about that. Housed in Senate Bill 1, it's going to cap annual increases in property taxes for all property types, including homesteads, to 3%.
All right, so there's three real components to this. The central theme is reset the rates to 2021. As you said, it will cap the 2021 bills. It will cap the amount your property tax can go up, and it will change the referendum language to get these evil, rotten public school corporations out from being able to jam things through in a primary where fewer people show up. The hearing is tomorrow, and the committee, the tax and whatever they're called anyway, that is tomorrow, 9 a.m. at the State House, room 431. If you can go and speak, you have to sign up when you get there. If you can go, if you're one of these people. See, here's the problem, Casey. They are not treating this. Now, I was told Braun was caught off guard by this, that he did not know they were going to do this, and they just told him we're hearing it Tuesday. If you really want something to pass, if you really are passionate about something, and you know you have to give people time to be able to take off work, you wouldn't just be like, yeah, we're doing it at 9 on a Tuesday. Here's your 4 days notice, including one weekday.
Yeah.
No. That's crap. That's crap. But that's what they do down the street from us. They treat taxpayers like crap, so that's completely in the mold of what they normally do. Now, the way it works, you show up, you sign in when you get there, and then I think it's 3 minutes they give you to speak. The problem with this is, and this is how rigged the system is, all the local government people are going to be there tomorrow. Why? Because they can go down there on your time. They'll go down there tomorrow and speak, and you'll pay them to go because they're going to say, oh, I'm doing my job. You're going to pay them to drive downtown and speak against you tomorrow. Any local government official, you ask them tomorrow, are you on the clock while you're doing this? Did you take the day off work, or are you getting paid to be there tomorrow? I darn bet you there's a good chance they're going to say, well, you know, it's my official.
I'm representing my local community.
Right.
I have to be there and speak on their behalf.
You, on the other hand, as not a parasite or a bloodsucker, you have to go to work. You have to produce. You can't just take off and go downtown on the taxpayer dime. So who do you think is going to have more people there tomorrow, Casey?
Local governments?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is going to be rigged up tomorrow so that there's more local government people who can do it on somebody else's dime and come up there and say their doomsday scenarios. Oh, the sky is falling. Oh, we'll have to fire the police. Oh, we'll have to fire the firemen. Oh, all the children will be in the one-room schoolhouses. And you know what? Because people have to go to work and can't show up, and you only gave them 1 weekday notice. By the way, you wouldn't have even known this was happening this weekend if it weren't for me getting the information. They didn't broadcast it anywhere. They didn't tell anybody about it. We've been telling people over the weekend who to email, who to phone call. We're going to give you that information here in a moment. Do it today But this is the system is this. They are designing this to fail. Now, I think it will pass tomorrow because I don't think they're going to kill the governor's signature issue in committee. But they're not treating it like they actually want this thing to pass or want to pass with overwhelming support. Because if they did, they would have given you plenty of notice to be there and be able to participate.
Time, yeah. It's not even the. I believe it's the Tax and Fiscal Responsibility Committee.
Is that April Fool's joke? Tax and fiscal responsibility.
It's when they kick it over to the House is where things are going to go wonky.
Well, who knows? But the point is, so if you can go tomorrow, 9 a.m., room 431 at the State House. You go, you sign up. They give you 3 minutes. You're probably ignored in the order in which you receive, but you're a number, right? It's a numbers game. You need to go if you can go and give those people a piece of your mind. The things that you've told us in your emails, tell them. However, if you cannot go tomorrow because you are not a blood-sucking parasite and you actually have to produce for humanity, you can email and call Senator Travis Holdman. He is the author of the bill. He is the head of the committee, and he will, I have no doubt, relay how many phone calls or emails or whatever he got. So today, look, if you don't participate, if you don't engage, it's going to fail. And then you can't be mad. It's not going to be Braun's fault. We've talked about the role that we play in this whole thing. So get your pen out or your keyboard or your cellular telephone or however you're taking notes here. In just a second, we're going to give you his email. You need to email and call him today, whether you intend to go tomorrow or not. Today, email and phone call Travis Holden. My goal is would like to shut his voicemail down if at all possible. I think that'd be a nice present for him today.
Yeah, so Mike Braun said the tax relief is going to impact on local governments, and he realizes that, but taxpayers are struggling, and we have to put their needs first, their needs being your needs. And these are some important decisions, and they affect you directly.
Absolutely. All right, so we need you to email and call Travis Holdman today. If you'd like to email him, it is Senator Holdman.
Let's spell that out.
Well, I will in a second, Casey.
Okay.
Senator.Holdman at iga.in.gov. So Senator.Holdman at iga.in.gov. Go.
That's Senator, SENATOR .HOLDMAN at iga.in.gov.
And tell him, pass Senate Bill 1. You can tell him your story if you want and say, I am sick. You can use words like parasites and bloodsuckers and leeches. I mean, you can say Rob Kendall sent me, whatever you
say that. Do that.
Whatever you'd look, they know where the people are. They know, but they need to be. Now there's a phone number. We'd like to shut his voicemail down. We'd like to clog the voicemail and see how fast we can do this. Do you have the phone number?
I do have the phone number, and before anybody says the word doxing someone or giving out someone's personal cell phone, no, this is his work number. This is his office number.
Oh, that's right.
It's public knowledge.
That's right.
You can Google this and find that.
You've paid for it.
Okay, so here's the phone number: 317-232-9400. 317-232-9400.
Okay, so call and email today. There's going to be some poor legislative assistant sitting there that's going to have to deal with you, and that'll be wonderful. I'm going to go tomorrow when I get off the air. Now, you got to sign up at the beginning or you don't get to speak, but it'll be like Jimmy in Hoosiers where he, walks into the church and everybody turns and looks at him and says, I don't know if it'll make any difference or any change, but I'm going to start playing ball. I'll be there tomorrow for a little bit when we get off the air. But this is my point. We don't have the option now to participate in this.
Can you imagine whoever scheduled this? What time should we have this? Noon? No. 9 a.m.?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's not a coincidence.
9 a.m. So somebody will be busy doing a radio show.
So, Kev, in the folder on Friday, I want to play this again. That clip, that Chad Ellis clip that we had, that little minute and a half or whatever. So we had, and everyone should remind these guys of this tomorrow or your emails or whatever. So we had a guy named Chad Ellis on our show on Friday.
Township trustee.
White River Township in Gibson County. So that, the argument always moves in when there's no leg to stand on. So the initial argument was, all the police and the firemen are going to be fired if we pass Braun's property tax plan. Of course, we easily refuted that Carmel's spending $55 million on a on a swimming pool, and you got the $36 million G League arena in Noblesville for the Pacers team, and the 10,000 open air stadium that's going to be built in Westfield, and blah blah blah. I mean, the empty $4 million empty patch of grass in Brownsburg. Da 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 da. But so that changed. Like, that argument fell apart. So now the argument became, well, these poor rural counties, these poor rural townships, they're not even going to exist anymore.
But isn't it interesting, because we were also told that the property taxes weren't going up as much in the rural counties?
That's right.
So which one is it?
So we had a little back and forth with Chad, who is a township trustee and about as small and rural as a county and township as you possibly can have. And he quite well, I thought, articulated, the problem is not revenue. The problem is not money. It is a spending and management problem. Don't take our word for it. Take his word for it.
But let's accept that premise. If there's all that money sitting there, shouldn't it be released to the public safety, and then we could do everything everybody wants to do?
Now I'm in agreement with you. I could not agree more with that. We need to take the excess funds, the excess tax dollars that have been collected, and use it wisely and put it into places that it's needed. But as you know, when you give an entity more money, they're going to want more money down the road, right? So then what?
So I think we're in agreement, at least on this, right? That there's not a revenue problem. There's a disbursement and handling of money problem.
Yeah. Agreed. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm a township trustee. I don't think it's at this level. I think it's at all the levels.
We agree.
Wow.
This has been a great
agreement. I was reading back through some of your posts yesterday, and I'm in very much agreement with you that property taxes are way out of control. If you add a 4% tax to somebody that makes only $60,000 a year, which I believe is the average income in the state of Indiana, you're talking about $2,400 a year. That's $1 an hour tax on these people that they're not getting $1 an hour raise every year, right? And inflation's up. Something's got to give.
So tomorrow, if you go 9 a.m., room 431, you got to fight nasty with nasty. And these people, these local government people who are going to get up there tomorrow, who are going to sell these, I call them the human shield stories, right? About this, they're disgusting people, but they will say this. They'll say tomorrow that the police are going to get fired, or the firemen are going to get fired, or the lights won't be on, or whatever. You got to get nasty with these people. And by the way, you'll be sitting around them. You let them know what you think peacefully. Obey all applicable laws and rules and regulation. But you can tell that person, if some mayor gets up there tomorrow and says they're going to fire police or trustee or whatever, you tell them, you're a rotten, pathetic, miserable person, and you're a liar. And Rob Kendall said I could say it.
So it is tomorrow, 9 a.m., room 431 in the State House. Senator Holdman at iga.in.gov, 317-232-9400.
Real quick, you got to start shaming these people. You got to shame these people that if they're going to get up there and they're going to peddle that bull crap, which that's what that is. That's pathetic, fear-mongering bullcrap, and it's designed to keep as much of your money as they possibly can. You got to publicly shame those people. You've got to make them know that you know and the public knows what complete garbage those people are.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy, wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, that makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
The Ford 70th Annual Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show, February 14th through 16th and 19th through 23rd at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Celebrating 70 years of the great outdoors. Over 750,000 square feet of the latest boats, RVs, power sports, motorcycles, Tackletown USA, travel destinations, and much more. Don't miss the 27th Annual Indiana Deer, Turkey, and Waterfowl Expo during the final 3 days of the sports show. One ticket gets you into both shows. Visit IndySportShow.com. Another Renfro production.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show
returns to Grand Park February 7th through 9th.
Find inspiration from over 200 exhibitors, artisans, and crafters.
SuburbanIndieshows.com.
London calling from the faraway towns. A war is declared, a battle coming down. London calling.
Gross, Casey.
What?
Gross.
What's gross, Rob?
I don't want to talk about this.
Yes, you do. There's actually a couple stories involving this.
What?
Yeah, there's two
Well,
stories.
you just had a very voyeuristic weekend then, didn't you? Get your mind out of the gutter. This is a family program.
Except for you're the one who sent me this story. So clearly it's on your mind.
You know what leaders do? Leaders lead and followers blame other people.
Okay.
And right now, you're shifting blame and putting it on someone else.
Down into the gutter.
You do the template and I sent this to you like as a human interest thing and never ever dreaming you would put it on our template, and now you've rammed it right to the top of the list of stories you want to talk about.
Sure, I did. It's about this OnlyFans star who... She was, correct. She passed away. She plunged to her death from a hotel balcony.
What was she doing, Case?
Was
she working?
She was engaging with not one, but two other people.
She was doing the work.
She was doing the work. This happened in Brazil.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, and apparently they were, as you say, doing the work on the balcony when one of them took a tumble too far.
You mean like over the balcony and to her death? That would be too far?
Yeah, all the way.
Okay, so not a lot is known about this, but you're right. You know what's amazing to me about this? I've never heard of this person, and yet all these media outlets were covering this as though it was some sort of mainstream musical talent this had happened to.
Her name is Anna Polly.
Well.
That's her stage name. Anyway.
That's not
also
her real name?
known as.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was doing the work with multiple
two male partners,
co-stars. So it's like, Sandra Bullock starring with Brad Pitt and Michael Keaton type of thing, right? Is that what they're talking about?
Sure.
Is that the? And some maneuver was apparently done allegedly. I don't know. And somebody, I don't know, there were not applicable safety standards or who knows. And she's no longer with us anymore.
That is correct. So her co-stars were questioned, but they were released after questioning. And the police actually had to go through her phone to try and piece together what happened.
So then, what I found most interesting about this is her I don't know, boyfriend, who, by the way, is not one of her co-stars.
Was not part of the incident.
I think this is the most... Stop laughing, Kevin. It's not funny. Someone's dead. It's not funny. I see you over there laughing.
Very serious.
It's not funny. Her boyfriend, who I guess is not one of her co-stars, sends out this...
social media post?
Like, just, you'd thought Mother Teresa had passed away. And it's like, part of you goes, like, I'm sad that your, I don't know, significant other is no longer with us, and that's probably very traumatic. But then your significant other passed away having interpersonal, intimate, I don't know, is intimate the right word?
No.
Is that...
I mean, it's pretty intimate.
I don't know if there was any, whatever. I don't mean to do a deep dive on this family program. But she was engaged in physical activity,
correct,
for lack of a better term, with multiple other people, one of which was not you. And like, how do you, as a partner, like, how do you
justify?
How do you respond to that?
Well,
I mean, what do you say? She went doing what she loved. I mean, I don't know.
She had a smile on her face.
Well, and look, people can say being ridiculously insensitive about this, but the reality is, this OnlyFans stuff is utterly ridiculous. The envelopes that they try to push on this OnlyFans stuff is utterly ridiculous. There's clearly no workplace safety precautions that are, that have to be in place. And now people are dying trying to one-up each other on OnlyFans, subscribe to my account because I can be more acrobatic during the act. I can balance myself off a rail.
Trying to make a bankroll.
I don't understand.
So it's unclear whether she had drugs in her system. She was 27 years old. I keep wondering, what was the balcony? Because if you've ever stayed in a balcony at a resort or whatever, was it the kind that had like the opening at the bottom so that when it rains, the rain can run off?
Oh.
Like, was she...
I love that you're trying to piece this together.
Bent over the railing?
Over here.
Like,
Clouseau.
And the
Pink
fact
Panther.
the fact that the police are going through her phone, because that's how it was shot on her phone.
I don't know, Casey. I've never participated in the OnlyFans.
Okay, so there's another story.
Do they shoot on the phone? Is that what they do?
And what? Just upload directly?
I hear the phones are 4K now.
No editing. There's another story of this lonely OnlyFans model. And
She's a what?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, he's
this
a what?
Guy, he's lonely. He's 21 years old. He's a multi-millionaire.
He's rich and lonely.
Lives in a huge house.
He's rich, lonely, and well off.
Correct. And he says that it's hard for him. He lives alone in this big sprawling house.
Right. No doubt.
The bigger the house, the lonelier you get, he says. It's hard for him to leave his house because of what he does on the OnlyFans.
Oh, like if he went to a Wendy's, people would recognize him?
Correct. I mean, the guy made $5,000 in his first 24 hours, and that's been going on for a while.
Women pay for that stuff?
Clearly,
I thought it was only men that pay for that stuff.
I don't know what his fan base makeup is. I don't have the demographics.
Oh, it could be men. I see what you're saying.
But he's saying that he's a rich, good-looking, lonely OnlyFans star, and all he wants is a hug.
Well, look, as someone who's never been rich, I've been very good-looking, but I've never been rich, and I've also never been lonely. My advice to him, Kurt, it's not funny. This guy is lonely. Look at him. He's very rich and lonely.
No, I'm actually laughing at the guys. You guys are calling it the OnlyFans. Are they posting it on the Facebook, too?
Right.
Now, this guy, here's my advice to him. It's called going places and talking to people.
Well,
if you don't want people to laugh at you over showing your dinghy, then here's an idea. Just don't show the dinghy. Then you won't be lonely.
That's how he makes his money.
That's right. By the way, what percentage of people actually know an OnlyFans person if they walked in front of them? I think this is a self-absorption problem.
You think
There's no way if he walked into TGI Fridays, they're going to be like, that's the lonely guy from OnlyFans.
It's like these TikTokers who are spotted. Aren't you the one on TikTok?
But you know who's never lonely?
Kurt Darling.
And is very rich and decent looking.
That's not true.
Kurt Darling
That's partially true.
Kurt Darling
He's up next. It's 93 WIBC.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The impact on Wall Street. Radar is clear. It's partly cloudy, 53 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. President Trump's issuing of tariffs on goods tomorrow from Canada, Mexico, and China is causing stocks to tank. At last check, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down over 600 points, while the S&P and the NASDAQ are both down over 1%. Investors are weighing the risks of a full-blown trade war, which would disrupt global supply chains and reignite inflation with higher prices. A back and forth over control of the Panama Canal. That's where Secretary of State Marco Rubio is today.
Big crisis here. Who controls the Panama Canal? We are seeing some real movement from Panama on that issue. On the one hand, the government has said here that they're going to audit 2 Chinese-owned corporations that are located on the canal. Also, Panama president said they're going to end participation in a Chinese infrastructure program. Now, is that going to be enough for President Trump? President of Panama says he hopes so.
Fox's Steve Harrigan. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Terry Stacy for Cardwell Do It Best Home Center, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side. Your discount roofing headquarters. Stop in for wholesale and factory direct pricing on the roofing shingles and supplies you need at the price you love. They offer dimensional and 3-tab shingles at low, low prices. Cardwell also carries a full line of best look quality paints produced by Sherwin-Williams, America's largest paint manufacturer, with paint and primer all in one. Cardwell also carries a full line of Hillman fasteners, and for winter, snow shovels, rock salt, and ice melter all in stock. At Cardwell Do It Best, you'll also find a full line of lawn and garden supplies, plumbing, electrical, with lumber and building materials too. Cardwell Home Center. Shop online at cardwellhomecenter.com with over 67,000 products available and free shipping to the store. Cardwell Do It Best, 3205 Madison Avenue, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side, serving the greater Indianapolis community since 1945.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Coming home to a cold house in the dead of winter isn't just inconvenient, it's expensive. For over 60 years, thousands of Hoosiers have trusted B&W to catch their problems early and keep their families warm and safe. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com for fast, reliable service today.
That's 317-214-0108. B&W, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Are you still thinking about what to get her this Valentine's Day? Make that special gift last forever and surprise her with a gift from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Hey, Rob, Punxsutawney Phil saw a shadow. You know what that means? 6 more weeks of winter. I saw my shadow. That means 6 more weeks of Rob Kendall.
If you're lucky. Okay, so people still are, like, there's people that actually believe whatever this thing is, right? It's not just some ridiculous thing people do to kill some time once a year.
You're talking about Punxsutawney Phil? They actually believe.
What is it? Is it a squirrel? What is he? A hedgehog? Chipmunk?
It's a woodchuck.
It's a groundhog.
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 Yeah.
That's not a woodchuck.
I think they're the
groundhog.
Same, right?
Maybe the same family. I'm not sure, though.
So he ventures out of a hole. No, they pull him out of something, don't they?
Yeah.
Doesn't he live somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, if they put him in a hole, he would just disappear.
Right. He's a kept groundhog.
So is there a specific area he waddles over to in order to see a shadow? I mean, literally, it's just, is the sun shining today?
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's no sun, obviously he won't see a shadow. So this whole thing comes down to, is the sun escaping cloud cover for the brief moment in time, this, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the most stupid thing ever.
Casey was right. They are also known as woodchucks.
Oh, very good. Well, I stand corrected.
Thank you for fact-checking me, Kevin.
Absolutely. Very good.
A meteorologist at NOAA said that winter's going to end on March 20th, regardless of what the groundhog
Well, thank you.
says.
Right. Thank you very much.
If you want to get into it. Let's talk
Did you check
about
your heating bill recently, by the way? Like, because you should be getting your bill. Are you all electric or you got gas, too? Are you both?
Both. Yeah. No, but you know what? My HOA went up by $15.
Is that a month or a year?
That's a month.
What?
Yeah, like what happened there? Well, it's like divided out. I don't pay it every month. I pay it in chunks. But what's up with that?
Your HOA doesn't do anything.
Hello?
Like
who you telling?
You have no lawn.
I know.
What do they do?
I guess the salt cost more this year.
Is all of that?
They threw a bunch of salt down when it snowed.
Is that all that money going to demolish the demilitarized zone around you to try to create some decently respectable living quarters?
More trash collection?
What is it? Is that $100?
I don't know what that is.
No, wait, I'm doing math.
I need to get to the bottom of it.
It's $180 a year. You're telling me is it a month or is that the total? It's going to $15 for the year?
We pay it in chunks, so it's per bill. It's like 4 times a year.
So 4 times a year, you're going to pay $15 more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's $60.
And I'm sure at some point they told us what it was for, but I wasn't paying attention.
Well, that one guy harassed you about
a dead patch of grass.
A dead patch of grass. Thank you.
Yeah, which we cleaned up.
I mean, do they pay that guy? Does the harasser guy get money?
That's my neighbor too.
Well,
the guy who lives right next door.
And you had just moved in. So Casey lives in this weird neighborhood where you would, even in the middle of the day, not go walking outside of the neighborhood. However, the neighborhood itself is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And these houses are like sky rises that go straight up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, 7 stories? I don't know what it is. By the way, Casey texted me last night. She's like, I'm busy calculating my net worth.
It's true.
I was like, are you planning some sort of escape? Does Jim know?
I just want to know how much. Is there?
Did you just wake up on Sunday and like, I need to know what my net worth is?
No, I do it every so often just to see where we're at.
And in case you need to flee? I mean, you know where everything is? Or?
No, I just want to know. Just keep tabs on that. Well, because Trump said that we're going to feel some pain.
Yeah.
And
you want to know how much pain you could feel.
Well, the stock market took a dip, and so it's kind of like, all right, where are we sitting? Let's just review. You got to know these things. And the HOA went up.
Yeah.
I've had some medical bills to pay. I'd just like to know where we stand.
I have no idea what my net
Had a
worth is.
birthday.
No idea.
So I'm inching closer to that 62 age. And
Yeah, you're 61. We've already told everybody. You'll be right there next year.
61. Not that there's anything wrong with being 61.
Point is, and by the way, real quick, the stock market. Remember that time it went down like $700 or 700 points? This was in the fall of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, oh, it's no big deal. Stock market does all sorts of, when Biden was still president, stock market corrects itself all
Right,
the time.
but then today it's down 600 and
panic.
it's calamity.
Anyway, so your house it goes straight up in the air. It's very nice, very, very luxurious. But you have no yard.
Correct.
There's no grass that needs trimmed by the HOA. I don't even have plants out front. I can't remember.
No. Well, yeah, there's some bushes out there.
Okay, well, how long does that take? I mean, I could bring a hedger and do them real quick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand what you're paying for. Have you asked?
Neither do I.
You need to get on the board.
That's the...
What?
Really?
Well,
You're giving me an assignment?
You have to engage. It's like calling Holdman today or emailing Travis Holdman.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to engage, you're going to get run over.
Complain.
You're getting run over. It's a tax increase. You're getting run over by your HOA board. You don't have to stand for that.
You think what'll happen if I don't pay it? Will they shame me? Will they put a lien on my house?
This is what I don't understand because I will never live in an HOA ever again. Like I lived in an HOA one time in my life and it was just the most stupid thing ever. I never understood where the money went or what it went for. What can they?
What can they do?
Can they lien? Is lien LIEN lien? Can they put a lien on your property where
they could probably take you to collections?
Can they?
I think so.
If anybody's in an HOA, let me know what they can actually do to you in the HOA.
No, in the old neighborhood, when people didn't pay, they would send out a mass email with your name and how much you owed. They try to shame you into it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They'd like say Casey Daniels owes $50.
Yeah,
and they would send it to the whole neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood.
Is that legal? Can you do that?
Well, they did, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
No kidding.
Yeah, there was somebody who was a very prestigious person in the community.
Oh, and they owed money.
And so they tried to shame him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever paid it or not.
Never again. I will never ever live in an HOA ever again.
Well, I paid it because I'm a good member of the community.
Yeah. You know who also doesn't live in an HOA is Hammer.
He doesn't pay an HOA.
He won't know that his segment's up next because they don't play our radio station on this floor anymore because somebody got offended at our views on a certain topic, so that's why they cut it off. But so Hammer won't know. I'll go get him because he won't know our segment.
All right, well, you go get him. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Back at it on a Monday, 3:06, the Hammer and Nigel show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories of the day. Guy Relford joins us. Let's have a good time.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 317-480-4040. That's 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's winter, and that means some days like today, it's very nice, and you can tolerate it, and then some days it's -2, and you just want to stab your eyes out. And regardless of what the weather is, you need to feel comfortable in your own home, and your windows are such a big part of that. And right now, friends at Universal Windows Direct are having the Love Your Windows sales event. You know they're doing that because Valentine's Day. It's right around the corner. You see what they did there? Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 windows free. There's no limit. Let's do some math. If you need 4 windows, you're only going to pay for 2. If you need 20, you're only going to pay for 10. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. And that's not all. Universal Windows Direct is offering no interest financing for 3 years. That's 36 months of easy payments with 0% interest. Already have a price from another company? guarantee, Universal Windows Direct will beat it, so you know you're getting the best deal around. Some restrictions do apply or could apply, so call Universal Windows Direct today. Schedule your totally free in-home estimate, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574, and check all their work out on the web ahead of time. See what they can do. UniversalWindowsDirect.com, UniversalWindowsDirect.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Let's talk about getting back to your best. Lack energy, muscle mass, feel moody, or have low libido? It could be signs of low testosterone. Know your T levels. Get tested. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer. The true experts are at Low T Center, and everyone's different. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Get personalized treatment at Low T Center. For current patients, Low T Center offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment today. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey's here. How was the Cirque du Soleil on Saturday? What, Disney on Ice with tights? How was the wrestling?
The wrestling was a lot more fun than a Springsteen concert, I can tell you that.
Well, I can assure you not.
No, it was great, man. And the crowd was rocking. It was fun. To me, that's the best part. Like, my kids and I, we go, and the action in the ring almost becomes secondary, right? It's like just being part of that rowdy group. It's fun because there are so many different types of people that go to these events, right? There's the portion of people that still think it's real, right?
Wait, no.
There's some.
This crap now? There's people that still think it's real?
And then there's a group of rowdy, like college frat bro guys that they're just there to have a good time. There's like a group of hot chicks. Like there's like bachelorette parties going to the Royal Rumble.
There were good-looking women at the wrestling?
Tons.
Oh, really?
Tons.
Is that because they want to be with the wrestlers?
Maybe, but you know, like if I would have told you back in 1986 that you're going to see hot 20-year-old ass by the truckloads waiting to see Jake the Snake Roberts, would you have bought that? No. But it's a younger crowd, man, and it was fun. And again, I've always said going to these types of deals where people will say, well, it's scripted. Why would you pay that? Well, one, I kind of didn't know who was going to win at the end. I would have got that right had I bet on it.
Yeah.
And number two, if you go see a play, like you brought up Cirque du Soleil, or if you go see Hamilton or whatever, chances are you probably know what's going to happen at the end, but you have a good time. And in this case, people get bloody. Like, I don't know if Kevin Owens is alive or dead, but I had a good time watching him fall through a ladder.
There's a part of you that's like, you think ladders are supposed to break in half like that? I mean, isn't there some portion where it's like, really?
Sure. And I get the tables and the ladders. They're probably not,
industry standard. They're not using that to build the latest government-funded hotel down here. But at the same time, I'm at the point in my life where I injure myself sleeping, Casey.
I know.
So the last thing I want to do is, whether it's real or fake, go spine first through this thing on the ground.
And ultimately, all that matters is whether you had fun or not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
Right?
And the cool thing about this event, which I think we both agree, it's probably number 2 on the
That's
food
right.
chain of WWE, is whenever there's a new person getting ready to come in the ring, the big countdown and 3, 2, 1. And it was cool, man. It had a really good time. And it sounds like, restaurants and everything did really well. Walked around downtown a little bit because we parked here and then walked over. Like, all the restaurants had lines coming out of them. So that's good.
Great.
Take that. Speaking of lines, boy, it's getting pretty crowded at our bowling event right now. So as of this morning, and I'm hoping to get another update this afternoon, we're down to 13 lanes left.
Okay.
Right? I think we started with like 22 or something.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to our charity bowling event to help Hoosier veterans, all the money stays here in Indiana.
You're
to
not
help
getting
Hoosiers.
anything out of it.
No. Well, I'm going to get some booze and some pizza.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not like sitting on a pile of cash.
No. This money is going to a great organization, and buy your tickets right now. It's sponsored by Jack Daniels, and it's on a Friday.
Jeez.
So when Beer Sample Friday meets our friends at Jack Daniels, it's like that awesome High Five and Predator with Carl Weathers and Schwarzenegger.
What day is it?
Friday, February 28th. So we've got 25 days left. We're doing our show out there from 3 to 6. Right after the show, it is on. It's a pizza buffet. You get a free drink ticket. The bar will be open. Again, I can't say free samples from Jack Daniels, wink, wink, but they're the presenting sponsor.
Wouldn't say that.
No, would never say that. And it was such a good time last year. It was the Waste Management Open, but bowling. To put it in your wheelhouse there, Rob. Does that make sense?
That's great. I can totally see Nigel stumbling down a hill at the bowling alley outside.
You saw it last year. So buy your tickets now. You don't have to buy a full lane. Like, if your office wants to buy a full lane, or if you're a group
You'll allow that.
Yeah, if you're a group of people that love Trump or hate Todd Young and you all want to get your own lane, you can do that. But you can also buy individual tickets, and we'll set you up somewhere and have a good time.
You can name your lane Todd Young Sucks.
Yes. The Duke of Spendingburg team.
Yes. Perfect.
Right.
Love that.
And people go to WIBC.com for those tickets?
Yes, it's all over the place. WIBC.com. You can go to Hammer and Nigel's social media. Think about this. The value you get with these tickets, if you went to a movie and dinner on a Friday night, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more.
You'll be much more entertained.
Right.
Bowling.
3 hours of bowling, pizza buffet, a free drink, and all the trash talk from like-minded folk.
Love it.
The game is this Sunday, right? There's a game.
It is, and I still think when rubber meets the road, you're going to bet on it.
I've not been incentivized to do anything.
Okay,
we've talked about this.
And again,
I'm a principled person. Have you not, in all the years we've been friends, I am a principled person.
Right, but your principle doesn't make sense in this case, because your principle is that I think the game is rigged for the Chiefs. Okay, if you can bet on it, why not bet on the Chiefs and make money on rigged process?
I want the NFL to suffer. I want this to be the lowest watched Super Bowl.
They're not going to notice you're gone, Rob.
If millions of people decide this rigged thing, we're not participating in it, and millions of people are not watching, then that will hurt their advertising sales in the future. They'll learn not to cheat.
So if I have this correctly, you're banking on the logic that millions of people see something rigged they can make money on and are going to choose not to.
We're a principled nation.
You're a moron.
Well, you can say whatever you want about me.
And I usually do.
Well,
most people do.
This would also be a hard game to bet, too, because I think the Eagles are the better team, but I can't factor in the cheating. This is the problem.
Am I the only one?
I said the same thing about the Bills game.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear someone say the Eagles, I can't get Fetterman out of my head.
Yeah, that's right.
The Eagles!
Do you think about that or the mayor not being able to spell Eagles?
I think Fetterman won just because it's so just loud and in your face. The Eagles!
The Eagles, every single time, Hammer.
But then Eggless, which is what the mayor spelled. E-G-L-E-S-E-S.
I mean, it wasn't even close. It wasn't like she got excited and said L instead of A. It's not even close.
Right. Like Al Sharpton, the Rev on MSNBC, when he tried to spell respect, just missed one letter. He spelled respect with an I. But this idiot, she butchered the whole word. It wasn't even close.
Hey, I saw that Travis Kelce got fined. What did he get fined for?
Just in time for it not to count for anything.
Right,
Boy, that was bigger than, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a week late, too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he got the taunting. Remember, Mahomes
Is that
scores
what it was?
touchdown.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what it was.
No flag was thrown. I mean, it's blatant. It's right in front of this is what I'm talking about. Oh, they find him $11,000 a week late. He loses that in his couch cushion.
And again, the commissioner of the NFL is having his big Super Bowl press conference this week. There's chatter that he's going to talk about having the ball marked the way tennis does with that technology now.
Oh, the Frogger guy can't rig the game for the Chiefs anymore. The Frogger ref. Why?
So, again, if you think it's rigged, make money off it. I did that on that stupid Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Right.
We knew it was rigged. We told everybody it was rigged. And Daddy made so much money, he was above the law for 24 hours.
Aren't you a little disappointed Cena didn't win the Royal Rumble?
No, I loved it. Loved it. Dudes who have a bald spot like I do have no position winning the Royal Rumble.
Did you see any celebrities there? I heard Mellencamp was there. Was he there?
Yes, and we're running out of time here. We'll talk about it this afternoon. He got about the same reaction Kevin would have got on the Jumbotron.
Oh, okay.
What's coming up this afternoon?
Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford. Biggest stories in Indy, and we're going to have a good time.
Thanks, Hammer. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Jewelry Gram. It's your friends at Shane Company here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart. For the one, we'll help you propose with the dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. In stock and ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Or maybe you'll fall in love with a natural, colorful gemstone. At Shane Company, we're known for our sapphires in every color of the rainbow. We have options for every style and budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. Our mother-of-pearl heart-shaped collection makes a perfect gift that's ready to give. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, this is Denny Smith, and I'm betting that you already know that your carpets could use a good cleaning. There's no telling what's in those carpets at this point. And here's some great news. Zerorez has a February special of 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119, plus a 4th room clean free and $75 off air duct cleaning too. The Zerorez pros know how to get your carpets and floors and rugs and upholstery and even your ductwork really clean. And they can help you deal with the deeply embedded dirt, dander, and allergens, not to mention those pet stains and some of your stains. The game changer is the patented ZR water that uses no soap, leaves no residue, and there are no harsh chemicals because they just aren't needed to get things really clean. It's time to get it all Zerorez-ified. Give them a call, mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at $119, plus a 4th room clean free and $75 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZerorezIndy.com.
Howard Bailey Financial is now in Carmel on Rangeline Road. For over 20 years, we've helped people navigate their retirement journeys, and now we're bringing our experience closer to home. Visit retirecarmel.com to schedule your appointment or text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Together, let's build the retirement you deserve. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here with an amazing offer for my friends at Hope Plumbing. For the month of February, install a tankless water heater and get $1,000 off. That's right, get $1,000 off any tankless water heater. So if taking endless hot showers, cutting down on your gas bill, and saving space in your home is on your to-do list, call my friends at Hope Plumbing and get your tankless water heater installed today. Visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the impact of tariffs on Indiana. That's if
they're put in place. Plus, more details on a shooting that happened in Anderson overnight, and Ryan Hedrick reports on IMPD and immigration. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
He's putting tariffs on hold for Mexico. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump just posted that on the Truth Social, and Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House.
The president spoke with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, the two sides agreeing to pump the brakes on the tariffs and then retaliatory tariffs that Mexico promised for the period of a month. The Mexican president just posted some of the details. Mexico is going to immediately send 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the United States, particularly fentanyl.
No word on the 25% tariff set to go into effect at midnight, still on most Canadian imports. This morning, the president also talked to Canada's prime minister, who's vowed to retaliate, and they'll talk again later today. 10% tariffs on Chinese goods also go into effect tomorrow. On Wall Street, a big sell-off earlier isn't as big now. The Dow's down only 125 points. The U.S. Agency for International Development is closed today after Elon Musk, who runs the Department of Government Efficiency, took control of the USAID computer systems and said on X,
It's beyond repair. None of this could be done without the full support of the president. Actually checked with him a few times. Said, are you sure? I'm like, yes. And so we're shutting it down.
Now some critical reaction.
What's happening right now is dangerous for the United States and humanity.
Atul Gawande is a former head of global health at USAID and just told Fox.
These are programs touching hundreds of millions of people around the world.
In a few minutes, Vice President Vance, who's from Ohio, will go back to East Palestine 2 years to the day after a disastrous train derailment. Fox's Mike Tobin's there.
You have residents who still complain about health issues. Now, a faulty bearing is blamed for causing that train to derail, resulting in a fire and a controlled explosion of tanker cars, which burned for a long time. And those contain the hazardous chemical vinyl chloride. The NTSB now says that controlled explosion and burn never needed to happen.
The National Transportation Safety Board also keeps investigating last week's midair collision near Washington. Crews keep searching the Potomac River this morning for the last 12 bodies of the 67 people killed. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Hitting Hoosiers and Canadians. It's partly cloudy and 56 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02, brought to you by Moss Roofing. Indiana could see a big impact from President Trump's tariffs that he plans to implement soon. Those include 25% tariffs on Canada, which is Indiana's biggest international trading partner. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people.
IU Kelly School experts say Hoosiers may end up paying roughly $200 a month more for goods because of the tariffs on which they were being planned on Mexico, but they have been paused for now. It was outside of a nightclub. That is where 3 women were shot early this morning in Anderson. Police say that the shooting was in the parking lot of the nightclub. 2 of the women survived, but 1 of them died. Police are looking for the shooter. One of your senators is putting some pressure on IMPD over immigration. Ryan Hedrick explains.
U.S. Senator Jim Banks is calling out Indy Metro Police for saying that they can't enforce federal immigration laws. Banks says illegal immigration is a top issue because President Trump is following the will of the American people.
If local city police chiefs, like the police chief in Indianapolis, suggest that he's going to block those efforts by ICE, then I'm exploring ways to take away federal grants that go to those law enforcement agencies.
Banks speaking with Wish TV's All Indiana Politics. Some Hoosier police agencies say they will cooperate with ICE. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A big weekend for women's basketball.
Give it up for the Fever. We're playing a game right here, baby. Woo! We're coming to town.
Caitlin Clark back at Carver Hawkeye Arena Sunday as her number 22 jersey was retired by the University of Iowa in front of a packed house. It was also here for the Indiana Fever. Well, she'll be playing a preseason game next year. But also the Fever making some big moves over the weekend for their roster, including signing Sophie Cunningham in a multi-team trade from Phoenix. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
These cold winter nights mean more than just frosty windows. They can also spell trouble for your roof. Freezing temperatures, ice, and snow can lead to leaks that cause costly water damage if left unchecked. Moss Roofing is here to help. Tony Katz here, and Moss Roofing are the only ones to trust. A family business based right here in central Indiana. Whether it's a free inspection, patching a pesky leak, or a full roof replacement, their expert team has your winter roofing needs covered. Plus, they offer numerous financing options to make it easy on your wallet. Don't wait for that drip to turn into a disaster. Call Moss Roofing today for a roof done right every single time. Talk to Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or find them online at Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, February 3rd, 5 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Go ahead and get your avocados. Apparently, the price won't be escalating just yet. Mexico's president has announced that the Trump's 25% tariff on Mexico will be delayed by 1 month. 1 month.
So they're negotiating.
Yes, they are. This follows.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. People are so stupid and ridiculous. Donald Trump's a billionaire who built a multi-billion-dollar industry. You are on Twitter. Who do you think knows more about how economics work? The guy who built a multi-billion-dollar industry, or you on Twitter? And by the way, most of the outrage coming from people who didn't say jack squat over the past 4 years, while most things went up 25, 30, 35%. It's fake, phony bullcrap outrage, and these people don't mean any of it.
So this follows what was called a good conversation between Claudia Sheinbaum and Donald Trump. They discussed strengthening border policy. Mexico also agreed to deploy 10,000 members of their National Guard to reinforce the border to combat drug trafficking in the United States. Donald Trump had truthed out, and he said the soldiers will be specifically designated to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants into our country.
Now, you don't know and you don't want to know because you don't want to engage with these people. You don't want to give them any credibility. You don't know if people are genuinely are they this uninformed? Are they this stupid? To not understand how much we've been getting screwed in terms of our trade amounts, in terms of how we're treated by other countries, including the lack of participation on securing the border, et cetera. Do you people just not know? Do you not care? You'd have to, of course, talk to them, which that I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But these people who huffing and puffing out the price of this, the price of that, it's going to cost me so much. Oh, tariffs don't work. You know what the threat of tariffs do? Clearly.
And we've said that all along. This has been going on for so long before Donald Trump was even in office, when he did an interview with Maria Bartiromo, and she was like, well, what's the number? Is it 200%, 100%? And he was like, well, I don't know. The number is what the number is. And that told you right then and there that was just a negotiation to get them to do what he wanted.
So much of being good as an executive is people believing you're a little nuts, right?
Yeah.
Or any sort of, a lot of fields where you have to convince people to do something. We just talked with Hammer about going to the Royal Rumble. The greatest wrestlers, the ones that people want to see the most, you think you know, but do you really know? I think I know, Macho Man Randy Savage, okay? This is the first name that came to mind. You think you know, but that guy, well, he seems a little unstable, and who knows what's actually going on. And that's the people that people want to see, where anything could happen. You know the fix is in, but you don't really know for sure with that guy. Brock Lesnar, he could kill a guy at any moment in that ring. He's really nuts. Same thing with Trump, right? these lawmakers, these leaders, these world leaders, they don't know what's real and what's not. And when you know what's real and what's not, and they don't know what's real and what's not, you have all the leverage and all the power because they don't know how far you're willing to go to accomplish the thing that you say you want to accomplish.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big game of chicken. And by all accounts, it seemed like Donald Trump, especially when he's telling the American people, get ready to feel some pain, like, oh, okay, he's really going to do this. He's really going to impose these 25% tariffs on Mexico. Now, he did go on to say that this 1 month period, this pause will enable them to have negotiations, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to spearhead that. And it's their attempt to achieve a deal. And that's what all of this is. It's just the art of the deal. And J.D. Vance was speaking with Maria Bartiromo, and he was saying that this is just part of a negotiation, not even with Mexico, but with China.
What can the administration do about pushing back on communist China? I mean, the president made a remark the other day that, look, it's not just TikTok. You've got surveillance in your own phone if it's made in China. You've got surveillance everywhere. I mean, we've got, spy balloons from China, surveillance, propaganda, undermining the United States at every turn. What are you going to do about it?
Well, first, we're going to impose some tariffs. And I think the president's been very clear about that. The tariffs are in some ways a penalty for the Chinese taking advantage of America's economy, for sending drugs into our country. They have to actually face some consequences for doing what they've done now for 20, 30, 40 years to our country, Maria. And part of what the tariffs do is they allow the president to have a negotiation with the Communist Chinese Party about actually having a little bit more of a balanced relationship. Whereas we used to have one where the Chinese stole our jobs, took advantage of us, stole our intellectual property, and sent a lot of crap into our country like illegal drugs. We now actually want to have a much more balanced relationship with the Chinese, but that's going to require, I think, the Chinese to face some consequences. So there are ways to fight back. We're starting to do that now, and we're going to keep on doing it over the next 4 years.
So using Mexico to stop the fentanyl flow coming from China. Now, will Canada and China fall in line with these tariffs?
Well, even if you got, let's just take Mexico, for example. And most of these people who are against these tariffs or the idea of the threat of tariffs, they never owned a business before. They're economists or they're government people, right? They've never signed the front of a paycheck before. Your ability to leverage the unknown against your opponent, that's what other countries are. They're opponents. You can say they're trade partners or whatever. Mexico's not our friend. Okay? Mexico's not our ally. Even if you had the identical, let's just say the policy, the trade policy stayed exactly the same. The trade amount stayed exactly the same. If you could produce, and all he gets is 10,000 border agents helping secure the southern border, 10,000 members of Mexico's military producing a more secure southern border, then wasn't it worth it? If we stop drugs, if we stop gang members, if we stop human sex traffickers from coming into this country, then wasn't all of this worth it? We didn't give up anything.
The only thing about the 10,000 members of the Mexican National Guard, soldiers, Mexican soldiers on the border. And of course, I'm going to leave it to Donald Trump because, I have to. Do you trust him? I mean, isn't the Mexican government run by...
Well, sure, right? And who knows? We'll see the result.
Cartels.
We're going to see the results. It sounds like he's going to get some time to see the results and see if these people actually produce. And if they produce... This is my point. It's so, laughable to see the hysteria. And we were joking about Abdul. Oh, my comic books might get more expensive because they're produced in Canada. Give me a break, Abdul. I love you, but that's ridiculous. You haven't said word one the past 4 years as Biden has done all of this stuff that has driven prices up. Don't tell me you're suddenly concerned about your comic books. Nobody, that's laughable. Trump is trying to reassert American dominance around the world. If he's willing to, and you're willing to believe the guy's off enough to tell his own people, hey, you're going to feel some pain, then you don't have any leverage in the negotiation because same thing with Kim Jong-un. Why did Trump get further than anybody else with Kim Jong-un? Because Kim Jong-un believed Trump was crazy enough to do all of the things. That's what we need in this country, is some guy that people believe is nuts enough to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
So there's a senior White House counselor, and he said this is not a trade war. This is President Trump and the American people defending ourselves against the carnage. But what about Canada? So Justin Trudeau was asked when he learned about the tariffs.
When did you first learn that President Trump intends to increase tariffs if Canada retaliates, and how has that changed your strategy?
I think Canadians understand that we need to respond to this.
Mm-hmm.
We need to respond in a way that is appropriate, that is measured but forceful, and that meets the moment. We're certainly not looking to escalate, but we will stand up for Canada, for Canadians, for Canadian jobs.
So booing at the U.S. national anthem at an NHL game is not going to do it. You know, he says they're not looking to escalate. Well, of course not. Are they going to turn around and run the other way? And Trump just continues to tweet about we're not going to subsidize Canada anymore, and we're still going to make it the 51st state. So is Trudeau and the Canadians, are they going to do what Mexico did? Oh, okay, boss.
Yeah. He's a billionaire, and you're on Twitter for a reason, right? He knows what he's doing, and everything will be fine. And all these hysteria people are just utterly ridiculous. And not one, even if they went through, not one person has been impacted by any of this yet. You have no idea what was going to go up, what was going to go down, no idea. And of course, then he'll get no credit from these same hysterical hyenas when there's fewer deaths, fewer fentanyl deaths, the border's more secure, fewer illegal crossings, which already are. No credit on any of that, even though his negotiations will have worked. They won't, none of that. They'll just go on to the next thing.
Well, and everybody is becoming an expert on tariffs, and we've had them in the country for a long time. They've always been a tool to exact foreign policy goals, and that's exactly what is happening right here. Talking about foreign policy, let's mention what's going on with Ukraine and Zelensky coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The commander-in-chief no longer needs a diaper change. The commander-in-chief doesn't have to watch Matlock with pudding smeared on his face. We've got a commander-in-chief that no longer falls up and down the stairs multiple times. I'm excited for that. If anything else.
Let's see how long it takes before Pencil Neck Adam Schiff to file some impeachment charge.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. If your garage floor looks bad with stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your entire garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job or chipping paint makes your garage or basement look worse. With one quick call to 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, I can save you $1,000 on a new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor during our winter sale. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating is the gold standard. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross garage floor won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. What's the Comer & Cross difference? We make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And one day, you will love your gleaming, new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor just in time for spring. Call us right now for $1,000 in savings during our winter sale. Operators are standing by now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show
returns to Grand Park February 7th through 9th.
Find inspiration from over 200 exhibitors, artisans, and crafters.
SuburbanIndieShows.com.
Rocking Mountain High.
Can I just say who the biggest losers of the day are? And it's just seeing them with the egg all over their face.
Yeah,
Are these
who?
people who earlier this morning,
The Dow is down 600 points, and I thought Trump was going to make it the biggest, most beautiful economy ever.
now
Is it back up?
Well, the Dow is down now 49 points.
Okay.
So literally in a matter of like 30 minutes, it's
Mhm.
gone up 500. Look, if your whole life argument is from one day to the next what the Dow did, you're an idiot. Okay? The stock market goes up, the stock market goes down. There's good news, there's bad news.
Mhm.
And all that has happened now out of Trump's tariff negotiation thus far is that we're going to have
A pause for 30 days.
and a much more secure southern border
Mhm.
in the process.
Mhm.
Sorry for partying. The Trump derangement syndrome. Look, and I can say this because you guys know I get crap from our audience all the time about not being some Trump loyalist. The Trump derangement syndrome, where people cheer for the demise of the country, and then anytime there's any sort of negative bad news, they just sprint to their nearest cellular telephone.
exaggerated.
See. Yeah, what I see is everything's going to be back to pretty much now, 46, 48. It's going to be back to level pretty soon, and you'll have a much more secure southern. You look like an idiot. You look like a complete idiot. Now, I mean, you don't care you look like an idiot. I get it. But, like, the stock market's going to go up on news some days. It's going to go down on news some days. It's going to swing back and forth. That's why they tell you if you have a 401k or investment account, don't look at it each day.
Yeah, that's a long-term investment.
It goes up over time. It goes up over time. And I think, like, let's say it goes down 100 points today. Let's just say it ends at 100. I have no idea where it's going to end. It could be up by the end of the day. But let's say it went down 100 points in one day. If you were telling me I had to take a momentary hit in some account that I'm not going to touch for 20 years, and we're going to secure the southern border and get fentanyl and human sex traffickers and coyotes and all of these other things out of this country, gladly we'll do it. And I would think any patriotic person would say, yeah, it's going to go up over time anyway. So, yeah, let's get that border secured. But most people won't, or not most, many people won't. They'll cheer for some sort of demise, or, by the way, 42 now. See, this is the point.
It's going up as we talk.
We could play this game all freaking day. The point is there's so many people that would rather see Trump fail because of some weird, bizarro Trump derangement
Then
syndrome.
the country be strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
40.
Seriously? It's gone up 9 points.
Yeah,
just since we started talking.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But the point is,
track of
it could go back down more. It doesn't like it's a fool's errand to judge something based on one day. 36.
Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky stated that of the $177 billion
24.
claimed to have been sent by the United States for Ukraine, that they've only received $75 billion, which is left a $100 billion gap.
Дивіться, я коли чую, і раніше чув, і сьогодні ми чуємо від Сполучених Штатів Америки, що Америка дала Україні сотні мільярдів.
There's no interpreter?
177.
No, he's...
What was our audience going to get out of that, Casey?
It's just, some ear candy for you.
If we were doubting what he had to say, that's who would know that? I thought there was a translator. There's no translator?
Even if there's not a translator, who do you believe? Is he telling the truth?
Well, I don't even know what he said.
Well, he clearly.
What did he say?
He says that there's $100 billion that has not gone to Ukraine.
And why would a man who speaks like that lie about anything? Are you sure that's what he said?
No, I'm not sure, but I believe the reporting on it is being reported in a lot of places.
So he's saying there's $100 billion that's missing. Well, we know some of it ended up in the hands of the FTX guy. who
That's
gave
true.
a bunch of money to the Democrats.
Yeah, that's true.
But isn't that just the most? So these people are having aneurysms over potential tariffs, but there's $100 billion.
Mm-hmm.
100 billion?
100 billion.
Not million, 100 billion.
With a B.
That is missing.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, you're not going to hear word one from them out of that. There's $100 billion of public money that's missing and didn't go where it's supposed to go. But hey, the tariff, that's the end of humanity as we know it.
Right. That's the issue. So wasn't it reported, didn't Thomas Massey say that we were paying some of their pensions?
Yes.
And didn't we fund, I don't know, their fashion sector
that's
for
right.
a while? And
what, you got something to say about that? You hate it.
seeds and first responders payroll as well.
Are you doubting Biden?
Did it go for weapons and aid, or where did the money go, Rob?
Why do you want a less secure world, Casey?
Why
do you want Russia to just stomp all over Ukraine? Don't you know that's what they're going to do, Casey?
I want a secure world, Rob.
No, you clearly don't, because you're questioning where the money went.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so clearly you don't want a more secure world. You want Russia to invade Ukraine. You want them to plow all the way into Western Europe. They're going to overtake NATO. Putin's going to unleash nuclear weapons on everybody, and you are sitting there with your closed little mindset. What, questioning anything Biden did?
Well, I'm not only questioning Joe Biden, I'm also questioning Zelensky, because you have to question, is this guy telling the truth or not? Because now when somebody wants accountability, he's like, well, wait, we didn't get all that money. Well, where did it go?
Now, Casey.
Are we just going to shrug it off, move on, or are we going to demand some answers?
So not only are you questioning the integrity of Joe Biden, what reason is he ever given you to do any of that?
Well, I was told that he wasn't competent enough to stand trial.
And now you're going to question Zelensky, who comes from the good, God-fearing country of Ukraine, who, if you were to look up honesty and integrity and lack of corruption in the dictionary,
it would what? His
wouldn't
picture?
there be a big picture of the Ukrainian people? I mean, haven't they always been a beacon of integrity and honesty and transparency? I don't know what's gotten into you today, Casey, but I'm not going to sit here and stand for it.
Okay. All I know is I'm questioning.
You better check
I'm
yourself.
questioning all sides.
When we go to break
this.
here, you better check yourself in the mirror, because I can just see the look on Kevin's face. His jaw has dropped open at the idea that you would even question.
You're the one who always asks, where did the money go? Where did the money go?
But not at Ukraine. Have you ever heard me say anything bad about Ukraine?
I mean, the conspiracy theories, the skepticism, the money laundering operation. Who got a cut? Did the big guy get a cut?
What?
Yeah.
Are you implying that Biden might have done something not on the up and up in a country where his son
I'm not
was
implying,
a conduit?
Rob. I'm accusing.
Casey, here is what it sounds like that you are implying. And then we got to go to a break, and I'm going to have to process this. But it sounds like that you are implying that Joe Biden was doing and moving money not potentially on the level in a country where his son, there may or may not be overwhelming evidence that his son was a conduit to an office for sale scheme. Oh, and there may have been video of Biden in his clueless, mush mind state confirming that exact thing had happened.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Possibly. That is what I'm saying. If you base it on what Zelensky said, but you got to question that guy as well.
I'm not questioning anything. Joe Biden is an American hero. You heard Nancy Pelosi, Casey. He deserved to be on the Mount Rushmore. Look at the condition of the country that he left. Who are you, Casey Daniels, to question anything, any motive of the Biden crime? Family. Who are you?
I want to know what Elon Musk said to Todd Young. That's what I want to know. That's my main question for today. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Torrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today. Today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's holding off. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. At least as far as Mexico is concerned, President Trump says that he had a good conversation with Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum this morning, where he says she promised to supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers to help enforce the southern border. With that, he says he is pausing planned tariffs on Mexico that were due to begin tomorrow. There will be consequences for those who interfere with the feds looking to deport illegal immigration, so says U.S. Senator Jim Banks.
If local city police chiefs, like the police chief in Indianapolis, suggest that he's going to block those efforts, then I'm exploring ways to take away federal grants that go to those law enforcement agencies.
Banks on All Indiana Politics. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said his department lacks the authority to enforce federal immigration policy. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. You know, we love many things about Life Church. One of them is their fabulous online services, and we took advantage of that yesterday. Life Church makes it easy for you with campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. And you can learn more about everything online at lifechurchin.com. Hey, speaking of which, they've got a marriage conference coming up February the 21st and 22nd at their Noblesville campus, and that is going to be such a great event. So you don't take my word for anything. You can see it all for yourself. All the campuses across central Indiana, the online services, the marriage conference, all points in between, lifechurchin.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Show your true love and spoil her with that special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
We get it almost every night. When that
So the DNC has elected a new chair. His name is Ken Martin. He's a longtime leader of Minnesota's Democrat Party. He had a pretty strong relationship with some of the voting members. And the crazy thing that happened over the weekend was that they elected their vice chair, and that was David Hogg.
Okay, so they elect the party of diversity, right? LGBTQ, black this, everyone's racist that, elected two white guys.
Yeah.
Two white men.
And did you see the picture of David Hogg? He had his hand up in the air.
So David Hogg is this little craphead that, was it Parkland? One of the school shootings. He went to school there. He wasn't there at the time. His classmates have refuted this. He wasn't there at the time. He wasn't in the school. He gets on his bike, goes back to the school after the all clear, and then he starts getting on all of these super liberal networks, doing the crocodile
tears.
He
was affected by it.
Right. But he wasn't there or whatever, and then he became the cause du jour. He's a complete idiot. He got into one of these Ivy Leagues he had no business being in, and now they've made him... there's no accomplishment from this kid where you're like, oh, wow, that's so impressive. He's really galvanized the masses. There's no electoral victories. There's no nothing. He's a complete charlatan. He's perfect to help run the Democrat Party. He's this total charlatan, complete leftist, just idiot.
For that matter, Harry Sison would have been just as good a pick.
Well, they might as well, right? Now, this Ken Martin guy has been the head of the Minnesota Democrat. Now what are they? It's DFL, Democrat Farm Labor is what it's called in Minnesota. But my question on this, first of all, does anybody other than like the hardcore political people are like, oh my gosh, Ken Martin is leading the Democrats?
Do they even know who he is?
We're headed to the promised land. Nobody knows. Minnesota's a hard left state at its core, statewide office holders, etc. And it doesn't matter who runs the party. They're so radically left, and I posted this on social media. I said it is a shame that the Democrats are, so inept and they're so radically left, because their inability to offer any sort of meaningful ideas in the public policy sphere means that the Republicans and their crappy form of governance will continue to exist, right? Who he can't, it doesn't matter who the party chair is. He can't overcome the fact that the AOC and Ilhan Omar and Bernie Sanders people are the dominant voice in the party, and the American public's like, nope, no thank you.
Well, that's just it. He was supported by Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz. You remember that guy?
He was the vice presidential candidate under what's her name? I forget her name. Kamala Harris. Thank you.
Pop quiz. Who was Hillary Clinton's pick?
It was Tim Kaine.
Very good. Very good.
I'm not going to know that.
Okay,
Come on.
But this just proves, he's endorsed by these people, which just shows you that the Democrats, they've learned nothing, right? They're going back to the same pool.
The party chairman, does anybody think that Laura Trump, who is the party chair?
Yeah.
Does anybody think
RNC?
that she was actually some miracle worker, or do you think
she hired a lot of lawyers?
But they didn't even use them, right? Trump, or did the election go the way it went because Trump was an infinitely better candidate with better ideas and sold those ideas better than Kamala Harris, and people were sick of Biden and Harris?
Sold those ideas.
Right.
That's what it was.
And if you look at, actually in terms of the party, they underachieved dramatically because they barely won the House, and they lost several down ballot Senate races in the swing, Arizona, et cetera, that they should have, Wisconsin, that they should have won. So she didn't actually do that much. It was just the right people in the right states rode Trump's coattails to victory. These party chairs are just people who suck up money and oxygen. Until the Democrats get rid of the crazy, which I don't see that happening anytime soon, they're going to remain either a super minority party or a party that is struggling to gain any sort of traction, and the map looks good for Republicans coming up here in 2 years, and they're probably going to win more Senate seats.
So the race, they said they were focusing on organizing and fundraising skills. So does David Hogg, because he's a younger guy, are they saying that he's going to be great at fundraising?
Okay, so let's say right now, David Hogg will be appearing at the Vogue. How many people would show up to see David Hogg?
Right?
How many tickets could the Democrats sell right now? And Kev and I were pondering this. What a name that has gone to waste. David Hogg. Like, if you were, I mean, it's such a shame that it's gone to some wimpy beta narcissistic, sociopathic, lying loser like that guy. When think about it, if you hear the name David Hogg, you're thinking some built alpha jock guy that's got two girls on each arm. I mean, he walks in a room and every head turns, and instead it's this little mouse.
Yeah, it's this guy. Okay, so Ken Martin said that his first priorities as chair are going to be to address the party finances.
Oh.
Well, didn't Kamala Harris $20 million?
But she raised the money doesn't matter. She raised $1 billion, and finances. It's not the lack of money to sell your message. It's the message.
Well, right. He also said they're going to evaluate past election cycles and get a better understanding of why they lost.
Let's review your last three presidential nominees. Okay, so Hillary Clinton, who was the most unlikable person at the time to ever seek the major party candidate to seek the office. So unlikable, in fact, that the second most unlikable person beat her, which is Trump. Biden, who the only way Biden won was they put him in the basement, and magically all these states went into mass mail and unaccountable voting, and 81 million people, who millions of them disappeared. Millions of them went somewhere in this most recent election, despite the fact that we were told, oh my gosh, it's record turnout, people in lines for hours and hours and hours. So Biden, and then who didn't know his name by the end of the term, and then Hillary was surpassed in unlikability by your most recent nominee, Kamala Harris. Maybe that's the problem. In your bench, what is the bench? It's Buttigieg, who's a complete incompetent buffoon. I don't know. Is Bernie Sanders the bench? I don't know. Elizabeth Warren.
Wow, that's scary if Bernie Sanders is the bench.
I don't even know. Like, who is? I mean, is it
Whitmer and Newsom?
I mean, if you're running against Gavin Newsom, don't you just show the fires? I mean, isn't that your whole campaign right there?
Right.
I mean, Stretchy Gretchy, who was feeding that chip and insulted all the Catholics.
Oh, right.
Who?
Yeah, she did that.
Who is the next?
While her husband was out boating and everybody else was masked and locked up.
And everybody knows I'm by no means a fan or cheerleader of the Republicans, but who is the next rising star of the Democrats?
Well, I think that's AOC, and they keep denying her that too. Not that we're any fan of hers.
Every man should be pissed off that mouse got the name David Hogg. Because there's so many dudes who would be worthy of the name David Hogg, and it didn't go to them.
So Ken Martin, he said that the Democrat Party isn't dead, and he vowed to focus on party building and infrastructure. Of course, a lot of conservatives were making fun of. Did you hear the rules?
No, what rules?
The rules on how they were electing the leader of the party.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 officers must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair.
Okay, and those were the rules for the vice chair. And
so
then
is David Hogg of any gender, or is he the female, or what are they counting him as?
That's who they ended up with. Tomorrow's a big day, Rob. We have to review coming up, okay? Instructions.
It's fine. What a waste. David Hogg, he should give that. He should donate that name to someone who deserves it.
He should get the website now. Register it on GoDaddy. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Back at it on a Monday, 3:06, the Hammer and Nigel show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories of the day. Guy Relford joins us. Let's have a good time.
AAA not only is the best at helping you out with flat tires, roadside assistance, replacing my dead batteries at work, but they can also plan some amazing vacations. And with all this snow and ice, I'm ready for a trip to Universal Studios with the family in Florida. You know what I mean? No matter where you're headed, AAA can help you get the best price on your next vacation at the AAA Travel Expo, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel.
It's free. You don't even have to be a AAA member to attend. Although members love additional benefits like 24/7, 365 roadside assistance. So save the date right now for the AAA Travel Expo 2025, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel. Find your dream vacation at Indiana's favorite travel show. Bring a friend and enjoy the day. Get more information and pre-register for your chance to win a $500 AAA travel voucher at AAA.com/expo.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
If you're drowning in unresolved tax debt, know this. The IRS can place a lien on your home, garnish your paycheck, and levy your bank account. That's catastrophe for you.
We interrupt this message to bring you some good news about your tax debt. We're TaxRise, experienced tax professionals who can help you seek relief programs and work directly with the IRS on your behalf. Find out if you qualify with a free consultation. 888-788-4220. Eric from South Carolina owed over $74,000. We helped reduce it to $798. Troy, a disabled veteran, owed over $142,000 and settled at $500. We've helped thousands of clients with their tax problems, and we're ready to help you. So take the drama out of your tax debt and rise above your situation with TaxRise. For your free consultation, call 888-788-4220. 888-788-4220.
Results vary, not guaranteed. Client names changed. TaxRise is not IRS affiliated or a law firm.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel Monday through Friday this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco Sunday, February 16th at Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Rob Kendall, before we wrap things up today, let's touch on this one last time to get everybody charged up. Because tomorrow's the big day. Or one of the big days. Or is it just, tomorrow's just another day?
Well, so tomorrow at 9 a.m. they'll have the hearing, the committee hearing on Braun's property tax reform bill. Now, it's like a game of Mario, right? To get a piece of legislation passed, there's many levels you have to press through. This is like level 1, which should theoretically be the easiest level. But with these Mensa members that run our state, you never know and don't take anything for granted, right? So level 1 is committee. The committee then theoretically will pass the bill. Now, they can make changes to it. They can whatever. It's their committee. But on a governor's signature bill, one would think that would be unlikely. But again, you can't, with these people, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't take anything for granted.
You just don't know. Now, you mentioned it's like playing a level of Mario. I always played Mario Kart. So in that scenario, there could be a banana thrown.
Yes, absolutely. Well, tomorrow will be a zoo. So just real quick. So it'll be committee. Then it goes to the full Senate, if indeed it makes it out of committee. The Senate then will have opportunities to make amendments to the bill, any of the 50 senators. And then if indeed it passes the Senate, then it will go over to the House. Now, this is what we got into this earlier, but this is what I've been told at this point, is that there appears to be some level of support for this getting out of committee. It appears there is some level of support for it to remain largely intact in the Senate. And then the House is going to just take a giant machete to this thing and go, oops, better luck next year. But a million things can happen and change. And this is why tomorrow and then throughout this process in the Senate, you need to get as many votes for this thing as you can. You need it to pass with as much support as you can so that when it goes over to those whatevers in the House.
Mensa members?
Yeah, well, I was going to say something highly negative. But,
okay.
That they feel some level of pressure to say, look, the correspondence was overwhelming. The Senate passed this overwhelming. We feel some obligation to stand up and do the right thing. Now, tomorrow will be a zoo. There'll be all sorts of local government people there screaming bloody murder and that every police officer is going to be fired and every fireman will be fired and all the children will be in one-room schoolhouses. It's all crap. It's all complete crap. Now, in the meantime, two things you can do, as we've said. You can either go tomorrow. If you can go tomorrow, go. 9 a.m., room 431 in the State House. And by the way, think about this.
4 days notice?
Well, 4 days notice. And I got it ahead of time. Otherwise, who would have known this weekend?
Yeah.
Who would have known if we had not been putting it out there this weekend? And I was told, Braun was also caught by surprise by they were just told, oh yeah, it's coming up Tuesday. This wasn't some thing that Braun was even involved in. So, if you can't go to the hearing tomorrow, which again, it's utterly ridiculous. See, this is the problem. People with real jobs, working people, they can't just take off with 1 day's notice.
Right.
The government people, they'll not only take it off, they'll do it on taxpayer time and go, well, this is part of my job. They'll literally, you will pay these people, these local government people, the trustees and the mayors and the school board people, you're going to pay them tomorrow to go campaign against you, which is essentially what they're doing. And they'll be able to legally do it because they'll say, well, this relates to my job. I have to go.
Right.
You can't do that because you have a real job. You have to actually produce for society. You have to earn a living. So in the meantime, you as a person who actually produces for society, rather than these bloodsuckers in local government who do nothing, you can send an email to Travis Holdman. See, this is the other problem. When you only have 4 days, it was like, okay, how do I handle this from a marketing perspective? There's all these people on this committee, but am I supposed to list all of them?
All of them,
Had
right.
to say, hey, you can't just send it to the committee. You got to email these senators directly. And so we decided, well, it's best just to email Holdman. He's the bill.
You got to even wonder if the senators read the emails or if it's just their legislative assistants.
It's a tally
that are going to go through them.
I mean, we're not going to bullcrap you. It's a tally, and then they'll go, okay, this many were in favor, this many were against. Now, Holdman's the bill's author. He's the head of the committee. He will relay the information. So it is senator.holdman at iga.in.gov.
Senator.Holdman, HOLDMAN, at IGA.in.gov. We've also asked people to call.
Yeah, it's 317-232-9400.
317-232-9400. Leave a voicemail. We may have already done it again at this point. I don't know. But shut the voicemail down.
Right.
We want the emails to be clogged up.
Make them clear them out and go through them again.
I mean, it is just, it's not the way you operate if you actually want a bevy of support for anything. This is not how you operate. But we'll work with what we've got, and that's, my plan is to skedoodle on over there. Obviously, I can't be there from the beginning.
At 9, right. You're due to be here because, again, to your point, you have a job.
Well, that's right. See,
right.
This is the point. So about noon, I'll skedoodle on over there, and it'll be like the scene in Hoosiers where Jimmy walks in the church and says, I don't know if I'm going to make any change or not, but I'll start playing ball again or whatever. But look, everything is working against the taxpayers on this. We're not going to bullcrap you. We're not going to lie to you. They don't want to pass this. They don't want to deal with the local government people, and you've got to overwhelm them. If you're not willing to participate, then you're going to get what you deserve. So if you can go tomorrow, go. But at the very least, you got to send that email, and you got to make that phone call. Do them both. Do them both today. Even if you're going tomorrow, send it. It's a numbers game, right?
Right.
This is what we can do, and that's the information that we have right now.
All right, so it's senator.holdman at iga.in.gov or phone 317-232-9400.
And leave a voicemail. Do them both. Leave a voicemail. When you call, make sure somebody hears
Tell
you.
Rob sent you.
Yeah, do it. Do say, Rob Kendall sent me. Yes.
I was told to call by Rob Kendall. They'll
Yeah.
love that. That's a nice little bow on top.
You got to hate these people more than they hate you. And there's going to be a swarm of local government people show up tomorrow who you are paying to go who hate you. So you got to hate these people more than they hate you. And if you don't hate them enough to send an email, make a phone call, and if you can go tomorrow, then it ain't going to pass.
All right. Well, our work is done here for today. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you for listening. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. February is a short month, and if you haven't looked at your calendar yet, it ends on February 28th, which, coincidentally, is the last day that you can save 60% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, you can get zero interest with no payments for 2 years. But now only through the end of February. That's less than 28 days to save big on some of the best windows you could buy. Less than 28 days to get windows that will protect your home and family for decades. Less than 28 days to get a quote on the windows that are going to stop the drafts and leaks and save you money on utility bills every month.
This February, you could miss Groundhog's Day and maybe even Valentine's Day. But do not miss your chance to save 60% off all windows and pay nothing for 2 years only from Window Nation. Schedule that free in-home consultation right now by calling 866-90-NATION or visiting windownation.com.
Let's talk about getting back to your best. Lack energy, muscle mass, feel moody, or have low libido? It could be signs of low testosterone. Know your T levels. Get tested. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer. The true experts are at Low T Center, and everyone's different. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Get personalized treatment at Low T Center. For current patients, Low T Center offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment today. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Big Joe here. You've heard me talk about Absolute Comfort and Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits for years. This energy-efficient way to heat and cool your home is a game changer. Smart systems that detect when somebody's in the room and adjust to your room's activity, be it in your living room, garage, or man cave. Visit Absolute Comfort's booth this Friday through Sunday at the Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show at Graham Park. Ask for Jeremy or Chris to learn more. Absolute Comfort, your trusted American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show
returns to Grand Park February 7th